Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. And the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Some Random Guy Speaks. I am your host, Tony Love. I just say the other thing. But other than that, though, ladies and gentlemen, we're about to kick it off. So if my mods in here, if not, I'm going to wait for them to catch up to come into the show and things. So, yeah, so where am I hearing something? Hold on for a minute. Let me go shut that down. All right. Oh, yeah. Okay, that's from my earbug. Okay. Let me go ahead and stop that. All right, go make sure this, because that's a little distracting. Okay, sorry about that. And then go starting up again. All right, sorry about that. So, yeah. So, we know what the title says, though, we already know what's going on. We're about to get started today. Oh, man, this is going to be another banger, I do believe. Is my mods in here? I want to, kind of set some rules up in the room and things. So I'm going to wait for the mods to show up, and then we'll go from there, though, So I appreciate y'all. Welcome y'all to the show and things. Welcome you all to the show. All right. So we're going to remove this flag here. Got this flag up. Oh, my goodness. We're going to remove the flag first. What? Oh, yeah. Get the flag out the way. Where you at, flag? Okay, there we go. I'm going to remove this, too. It's my other thing there. I'm going to remove that. All right. Where am I? Okay. What? Hold on for a minute. All right, there I go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you guys can see me. Let me get some more light. Come into the light, young man. All right. There we go. That should be a lot better. There we go. How do I look now? All right. I knew I was missing something. I hope you guys are having a great weekend so far. We're about to get ready to kick it off. Kick it. Can we just kick it? Yeah, we can kick it, can we? We can just kick it. So here we go, man. So we're going to talk about some things. I'm going to wait for some people to come into the chat. Boy, I tell you, man. Do we have a show banger? I'm going to wait for the mods to come into the room, but I'm going to wait for other people to come into the room too, and things. But I appreciate you guys. Man, there's so many things that's going on. Woo, man, isn't that something? Man, we've been talking about that redistricting, and they've been begging. It's like the grift is over, man. The grift is over, man. So, I mean, you can just look at it. For over 60 years, ladies and gentlemen, it's a shame. It's a damn shame. it's like I said before, when you pull off the Ku Klux Klan mask, you will find underneath, you have people like James Clyburn and Al Sharpton and what's the other one, Maxine Wicked West Waters, and the list goes on and on and on, So I'm not going to dwell on that, but it's just so humorous to me, and this is another dig back to the trolls and stuff like that. I have said that, we were going to win these elections. I'm talking about the midterms elections, man. A lot of rhinos got their behinds handed to them out there in Indiana. Ain't that a beautiful thing, man? It's like everything is falling into place. But we're going to break down. Also, I'm going to talk about why the gas prices are going up and things. And we're going to go into it. I'm going to share a little video which explains what's happening with the UAE as well as OPEC and things like that. We're going to talk about that, but not just yet, though. You're not just yet. So, but I'm going to talk about what I was talking about before. Man, I tell you, man, let me see here. Hold on for a minute. Another American abolition is flying the banner of another people. The state of affairs, so-called blacks, is sad. So-called blacks, 13 Moorish or whatever, abolitionists or whatever. Well, here's the thing about it, though, too. As I said before, the grift is over, and we're not going to talk about all that right now because, like I said, they did it to themselves, right? But what we're going to talk about, something much more important, right? And what it is who is running the world. This is exactly what's going on. So let's go ahead and get into it. I guess everyone else have to catch up and things. So we're going to go ahead and get into it. It's going to be a pretty good, pretty great banger, So we're going to understand how the globalists or parasitical elite class, how they get down. We're talking about families, first and foremost, who controls oil and things, who controls economy, what is it? They I'm trying to lose a word for thought here. It'll come back to me, you know what I'm saying? But they control things such as food, transportation, you know what I'm saying? They control these things, communications, education. And these are the parasitical elite class, right? Now that things are being unmasked, we can actually see who's been behind this thing, type of thing. And unfortunately, they have their hand all over the world, you know what I'm saying? You have, when we talk about prime ministers and presidents, because we know other than Trump, most of these other prime ministers, like, Keir Starmer, and Macron, you know what I'm saying? We even talk about the guy over in Canada, too. There's a list of them, right? And the ones I named, these are also international bankers, right? We got to keep this real. And the agendas that they're pushing, they are pushing the agendas of the globalists. And this is why places like the UK is falling. You look at Germany, you look at other like France, and look at Canada. Look how bad Canada is, right? The same people that we're talking about here, ladies and gentlemen, is what we're going to be discussing, because there's still a lot of people out there are unaware that families, and we're talking about parasitical elite class, a parasite that sucks the blood off of everyone else, right? And we're talking about regular people. We're talking about people who are outrageously successful, right? When it comes down to money, finance, and they can also influence, people or presidents and so forth. And we're going to get down to it because this is exactly what's going on. Or prime ministers, they set up what we call policies, right, as well. They control this type of stuff, And this is the things that's not really talked about. See, we've been lied to for a very long time. What we think is up is down, and what's down is up. You know what I'm saying? This is exactly what it is. So there are things that are happening historically that we are unaware of, right? I'm talking about as a group, and now you're starting to find out some things that are happening right now, even with America, right? America at one time was pretty much like how the UK is, like how Canada is and things, where we had an influx of immigrants coming into this country, right, which we call an invasion. So what ended up happening with that, right? It raises inflation. It drives up the cost of living, such as housing, right, and everything else, because a country cannot stand or sustain this magnitude of immigration, right? That's what's about to happen in Canada even more so now. I heard that they're supposed to be sending 30,000 basically illegals over there in their country. It's like this is going to be Canada. Woo, man. And like I said, it hurts every country throughout the world, right? But this is what's going on. So we're going to go ahead and talk about it, ladies and gentlemen. And most of you are coming in right now. I'm going to try to explain this. We're going to kind of go over some of the information that I have here, but let me do this, and we'll keep that American flag up just for a minute. But this is basically what it is, ladies and gentlemen. Now, when we really look at this thing, like for instance, transportation, communications, right? I mean, look at it. When Obama was, let's say, the president, right? There's a thing called the Smith-Mundt Act, right? This is where all the propaganda is coming from now. He changed some things, got rid of some stuff, and added his spin on it. You know what I'm saying? So for this moment, we have what we call propaganda news. Propaganda been around since, what's his name? Eric Benet, right? This is the guy, Eric Benet. He's actually the, not the singer, but he's actually the nephew of Sigmund Freud. We talking about World War II and so forth. He wrote the book called Propaganda. And basically, propaganda, as we already know, in other words, make it really simple. When you're constantly telling a lie over and over and over, it becomes the truth. And they did this in the war. They did this in World War II. You know what I'm saying? This is how Hitler was able to mass mind control of the German people to do the atrocities that have happened over there in Germany. And propaganda was a lot like what we're dealing with right now, right? Because, for instance, if I could keep convincing the American people that Trump is a tyrant, no good, MFer and all that, you get people that believe that stuff. And that's what happened in 2020 and so forth. There was a hatred building up. Now, you still got hatred in TDS, but where you think all that came from? It came from propaganda. It still works. Do you realize that they use propaganda in like TV shows and commercials and everything? They still have a hidden agenda, right? Which the control of mass thought, right, of people, right? So let's go ahead and get into it. I just had to brain that up here and things. So where is my stuff here? So we have that. Let me see here. Hold on for one moment, ladies and gentlemen. All right. And I appreciate you guys for showing up here, though, and things. Thank you for the likes as well. I got to do this here. Let's go ahead and put up something else here. All right. Hold on. Just give me one moment here. Where is my other thing? Because I wanted to show you guys this. And where did I put this at? I sent it to myself. I don't think I sent it to myself. But what we're going to do is while I'm working on that, let me go ahead and do this here. We're going to go ahead and pull my man up and things. So yes, go ahead and do that. We're going to go and pull him up. And then I'm going to let him break it down and explain what is going on in the gas prices and everything, which is about to change. But let me go and pull that up. There we go, right here. I listened to this a little earlier. And let's go ahead and play this here. There we go.
Is OPEC, and is this a big deal? Is it going to impact oil?
I think OPEC stands for the Organization for Petroleum Exporting Countries. I don't know.
Okay.
I think that's what it means. So basically, it's a cartel, right? The oil world is an oligopoly. That means there's a few players only that have the oil. So it's like an oligopoly. And then within that oligopoly, an oligopoly is like a monopoly, but with several players. Within that, OPEC is like a cartel. And what OPEC does, if you're a member of OPEC, they control production, they control pricing. They'll say like, hey, we want prices per barrel of oil to be this much. And then what happens is, so each of you member countries can only produce so much because it's a supply and demand thing.
So they collude on pricing.
They price setting. So the UAE leaving OPEC, why? It's because they want to be a regional player. They're moving closer towards the West, us, the U.S., meaning in their ally, things that they do as a good ally of the U.S., they're moving towards like us, coming towards us. So they're leaving the cartel because they have excess production capacity. They've spent so much money on building out their infrastructure to produce more oil that they're like, hey, I don't want to be controlled. I want to be able to sell more, especially after what's happening in Iran right now. The whole global geopolitical like structure is going to change over there, and it looks like they just want to move closer to us and be free of any price control, so they can sell more oil, and make more money basically, because things are changing. But what the impact is because OPEC is a cartel. As more cartel members leave, they have less control over the price. So the long-term, academic view on this, logically, is if they leave, maybe more other people leave, and more people who leave means there's more supply coming into the market because there's more suppliers now not being controlled. So more oil, more supply, oil prices could drop, basically.
That's good.
All right, guys. So he explained it here. Which channel? This is actually Alexis and Dean. That's where I got this from. So it's a little short, but he breaks it down very, very well, because it is a cartel, but with oil. We're talking about OPEC, right? And the reason that Trump had to go into Iran, because they were about to produce a nuclear capability, right? And let's say hypothetically, if they would have already created that nuclear capability, right, they can actually say, you know what, we're going to set the prices of oil sky high. Ain't nobody going to touch us, right? Because they got the nuclear capability. Go in there, they'll fire off a missile, right? So Trump had to stop that. He said we cannot allow these guys to have a nuclear capability, because we're talking about a player here, which is not really a player, but they are a cartel of people. Now, what's happening is that the UAE is leaving the APEC or OPEC, right? They're leaving OPEC, right? So what this means is more deregulations when it come down to oil prices is definitely suspected to drop. And there's going to be other people, because we're talking about Canada, we're talking about, Venezuela, we're talking about other places around the world, right, where we better have more access, because they're going to be able to keep pumping oil, and that's going to bring the prices down, though. So this is exactly what's going on, ladies and gentlemen. So once again, I don't see the oil prices, being an issue once they get some things going. I mean, UAE already broke from it. But let's talk about who set up OPEC in the first place. You guys may have heard me mention before, and we know the person that set that up is who? Henry Kissinger, right? It's when we came off of the gold standard in 1971, right? With Nixon, right? Henry Kissinger made a visit over there in the Middle East. He is the one that's responsible, ladies and gentlemen, of setting up the oil cartel, which is OPEC, which is a conglomerate of different players, right, throughout the Middle East, right? And they put a stranglehold. They were the ones regulating the oil prices and stuff, manipulating it the whole time. So in that time, we didn't have free trade of oil. Prior to that, I mean, they were controlling it. You know what I'm saying? And this happened under Henry Kissinger. Trump had to go in there to deregulate, stop what was going on, which is going back to the globalists again that you heard me mention, or the parasitical elite class. These people exist, and we're going to go into it, right? But they do exist, and there are families that control things, right? These are the people, right? Look at what's going on now, right? So as we talk about it, let me see here. Let me go ahead and pull this other thing up. I wanted to share that with you guys. And why I'm sharing that other and things like that, because we don't want no nuclear weapons at all. We shouldn't have any. Especially from rogue nations and stuff. Heaven forbid if they get a hold of it and things. So I'm trying to find my other thing, though. But if not, then it's cool. I'm going to pull it back up. But this is the reason, ladies and gentlemen, why this necessary thing in Iran had to happen. Because once they take control, right? I'm talking about real control. As he already said, OPEC and their what is it, cartel, oil cartel are dispersing right now, right? Which means that it's going to be better for us in the long run. They have been doing this for how long? You know what I'm saying? He talked about it before. This has been going on for a long, long time. You know what I'm saying? So it's a beautiful thing though, man. That we should start seeing prices come down soon. You know what I'm saying? Because you guys are understanding it. We all are understanding. Who are these people that are controlling things and manipulating things and getting you to think, getting you to, because it's all miseducation anyway. Let's just keep it 100. It's all miseducation in any way, you know, because they don't really teach this stuff in school. They teach us other things, teach us how to be a good parrot, how to recite stuff, you know what I mean? And like I said before, what's down is up and what's up is down, you know what I mean? But yeah, so let's go ahead. I'm going to just go ahead and let me see here. Where's my other thing? Well, we'll just go ahead and do this here. So let me go ahead on and put my other notes up over here as well too. And we're just going to talk about the deregulations of what Trump has been doing, because there was regulations, ladies and gentlemen. Make no mistakes about it. It was regulations, but we're going to talk about the deregulations as well. So hold on for a minute. Let me do this here. Just one moment. And for those that are in the room, though, I appreciate you guys for showing up. I appreciate it. Let me see here. Oh, wait a moment. Got the wrong thing. That's the American flag. All right, let me go ahead and do this here. Get that out the way here. And all right, just give me one moment. And things, I can't find that other thing here. Dang it. Don't you hate that when you're looking for something and can't seem to find it? Yes, usually how it goes. But like I said before, ladies and gentlemen, we talk about the thank you for the likes. We talk about the parasitical elite class, right? And let's just go ahead and go into it right now. We're going to go ahead and talk about these clowns and things like that, because this is exactly what it is. So we're going to go ahead and where is my, okay, let's see here. Is this here? Parasitical elite class here. Okay, here it is right here. I'm going to have it read a little bit here. Got to save my voice and things like that. So let's go ahead and do this here. All right, and then we'll go through there.
The term globalist elite, or global elites, is a political label, often used pejoratively, rather than a formal, self-identified group. It lacks a single, objective definition and carries different meanings depending on the speaker. Neutral academic description. It generally refers to a loose network of highly influential, cosmopolitan individuals and institutions who operate across national borders. These include business leaders and billionaires, CEOs of multinational corporations, tech giants, e.g., executives from Google, Apple, Meta, Amazon, financiers, and philanthropists like Bill Gates, George Soros, or Warren Buffett. Global Policy Journal. Politicians and policymakers, leaders favoring multilateral institutions, UN, WTO, IMF, World Bank, international trade agreements, and global cooperation on issues like climate, migration, and finance. Institutions and forums. World Economic Forum, Davos WEF and Klaus Schwab, Trilateral Commission, Bilderberg Group, think tanks, central bankers, and major foundations. Mere cultural academic figures, media executives, academics, NGOs, and celebrities who promote global citizenship, open borders, supranational governance, or cosmopolitan values over strict national sovereignty. Mere books like David Rothkopf's Superclass, 2008. Describe a global power elite of roughly 6,000 people, 0.0001% of the world population, who run major governments, corporations, finance, media, and NGOs. They share traits like elite education, often Ivy League, Oxbridge, international networks, and mobility. Carnegie Endowment +1. Common criticisms, especially from nationalists, populists, critics, including figures like Donald Trump, Viktor Orban, or populist movements, portray the globalist elite as prioritizing global integration, free trade, migration, supranational rules, over national interests, sovereignty, and working-class citizens, benefiting from globalization, offshoring jobs, cheap labor, open markets, while insulating themselves from downsides like wage stagnation or cultural change, promoting policies via unelected bodies, e.g., WEF's Great Reset, climate accords, or financial regulations that erode democracy and local control. Brookings forming a transnational capitalist class or rootless cosmopolitans detached from average people. GNXP. This view gained traction post-2008 financial crisis, during Brexit Trump campaigns, and amid debates over immigration and deindustrialization. Proponents argue it explains support for figures opposing endless wars, trade deals like TPP, or heavy regulation, counterpoints and conspiracy associations. Not a monolithic cabal. Many analysts note elites compete fiercely, e.g., US, China rivalry, tech versus legacy finance, and lack unified control. Globalization has lifted billions from poverty while creating winners-losers. Ekper. Dog whistle risks. The term sometimes overlaps with anti-Semitic tropes, e.g., rootless financiers or Soros-focused theories echoing old conspiracy canards about Jewish influence. Groups like the ADL flag its misuse AJC conspiracy extensions, extreme versions tie it to New World Order, QAnon-style cabals, or deliberate depopulation one world government plots. These lack strong evidence and often blend real elite influence with unfounded claims. Middlebury. In reality, powerful people have always coordinated across borders, via trade, diplomacy, or forums. The debate is about accountability. Do these networks serve broad human progress, or do they entrench unaccountable power favoring the connected few? Legitimate critiques of elite overreach, e.g., regulatory capture, revolving doors between government and finance coexist with exaggerated narratives.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. So talking about that, where it says about the common critics and things like that, or they're including people like Trump and Viktor Orban. I believe Viktor Orban, he's the guy that used to be the prime minister. Let me see here. He's the prime minister of Hungary. That's right. They actually kicked him out of there not too long ago. They put in another. Kicked him out because it says here that he was a lawyer, politician who served as a prime minister of Hungary since 2010. Right? So this is what Viktor Orban is. He's characterized as a Christian nationalist and a conservative, far right-wing politician. So they had to get him out of there because he would not bend to the will of the European Union, which is also controlled by the globalists or the parasitical elite class. So they put another person in there, which is also another international banker. You know what I'm saying? So when they get their people into play, then they can control them, right? Because it's easy, because they're all part of the same team. So that's what ended up happening there, though, ladies and gentlemen. We know with Trump and his deregulations in the United States, what he's basically doing is getting rid of the stranglehold that once was on America. It happened with Biden, and it happened with Obama and other people, and Trump has been dismantling their whole setup, though, which is a beautiful thing. And stuff. So now we're going to go ahead and talk about some other things. And again, I appreciate you guys coming in on the chat and everything like that. So now that we're talking about that and things, let me see here. Let's go ahead and talk about something else here as well, too, because we had to get some of this stuff out here, though, man. But the UAE breaking away from OPEC, this is a beautiful thing, man. You know, Saudi Arabia and so forth. We're going to have, when this oil goes down, which is expected to go down, you know what I'm saying? Another thing is that with this Trump administration, they are looking for what? That uranium, right? Once they get a hold of that uranium, you know, because he's not going to stop. He's not going to give Iran a pass. The old reason that he's over there is to get that uranium. Also, to free up the Strait of Hormuz, you know what I'm saying? Break this OPEC cartel down and things like that. If this guy was a tyrant, he'll be doing the opposite. He'd be protecting it. You got parasitical elite classes trying to protect it. Trump is trying to remove it, right? Get rid of the deregulations, which is going to cause the gas prices and oil and all this stuff to go down. You know what I'm saying? So this is a beautiful thing. And once again, I appreciate you guys being on the chat and everything. Just kind of talking about some stuff. It was something that I wanted to talk about and discuss. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. So let me see here. Oh yeah, I got to do this though too. These guys are seeing a pattern of the redistricting. You know what I'm saying? Because when we look at the gerrymandering, it was actually the Democrats, right? when they started setting up these what is it, the gerrymandering and things throughout these particular states and stuff like that to give blacks more voter right and things. Look what they ended up doing, though. You know what I'm saying? Look what they end up doing. They can't do it anymore. But when we talk about redistricting, we're talking about something that is which is actually constituted. They actually rolling it back is what the Republicans are doing now. The Democrats, when they did that, it was unconstitutional. That's why they can't win in court. It went to the Supreme Court. And what did they do? They threw it out because it was unconstitutional. No longer, ladies and gentlemen, that blacks are going to have to rely on black leaders, black clergy. They're all out. You know what I'm saying? So this is a wonderful time to be black right now, right? Because look, like I said before, look at your communities, right? A lot of us came out of these communities. If the Democrats meant so well or so much to black folk, we shouldn't have ghettos. We shouldn't have crime and violence. It should look like the suburbs. Look at the suburbs and look at their districts, and then look at the inner city. They actually have, but because of their bad policies, greed, so they could keep these positions forever. And the same people, some of them were around when Lyndon B. Johnson was around. They were rah-rahing for it, right? When he set up these policies and things, which is the Welfare Act of 1965. That pretty much decimated the black community. It gave the black woman set-aside programs, which is called welfare, but the black man couldn't be in the home. So this is that breakup of the family unit, right? And this is exactly what happened. They rah-rahed for that because it wasn't about black liberation, so they say, because they know black liberation, there's no money in it, right? We got to make sure, we got to keep pushing racism. We got to keep pushing that there's no opportunities for blacks and all this stuff. All that stuff came from who? It came from a lot of these so-called black leaders and black grifters, right? Because they profited. Remember now, they were making money off of this stuff, right? But it wasn't tangible. They just talked a good game, talked about how look at what they did with the educational system, public education and so forth. All that happened under them. They were taking the money right along with the Democrats and I can say this because we know that this is exactly what ended up happening. And this is why we have not reached any type of prominence, because of the policies and their greed and grifting caused this to happen. Look at their districts. This is horrible. Look at James Clyburn's district. It's horrible, right? Got to talk about that too, because like I said, if we don't talk, we have to talk about one thing and not talk about the other thing, right? I'm so happy right now that the grift is over. We don't need the black clergy or any one of these people no more. And right now, we are steady going to the courts all the way to the midterms. Black folk, these so-called black leaders, the ones that are around, they're going to have to actually, like what's the guy, John James, even though he's a Republican, but John James can talk to whites and others, but you got to have a policy that works for everyone, not just a particular group anymore. Remember, the black so-called politicians, they kids cannot appeal to a black group anymore. They're going to have to appeal to everyone. And I'm going to tell you this, if you don't follow through and if you don't come through with a policy, then you're out. Because whites and others are not going to put up with it. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Once you become aware, you know what I'm saying, with knowledge and wisdom to know how to look at policies before you vote, blacks have been miseducated how to vote off of blackface and the D next to the name. This is why our communities and none of this stuff never flourish. And the jig is up. It's, you know, the jig is actually up. Look at Louisiana. Look at Tennessee, right? Even though Indiana is mostly, I mean, you know, but that was a rhino removal, right? But look at these other places, right? Throughout the South, the redistricting is happening. So they're not going to be allowed to be able to just talk a good game. You're going to have to really be about it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm glad that this is happening. ladies and gentlemen, excuse me. I'm glad that this is happening. In fact, let's go ahead and do this here too. because I got to put this up and look. It's more impactful. Hold on for a minute. Let me pull up this thing here, because I'm really, really happy that blacks, now this is what we call real black liberation, right? So therefore, they could be able to pick who their political person is going to be, and they're going to have to really be able to pick a person. They ain't going to be blackface stuff no more, like I said before. It's not going to happen, though. Let me just show you guys this. This is what you're seeing right here. This is going to be the future for a lot of these Democrat politicians. And some of these guys you already know. Look at Al Green, Al Werewolf Green, right? You got, you know what I'm saying? Who else been redistrict? He's going to be out of here by the end of the year. But look at, you already know, Jasmine Crockett, right? Look at her, got the unemployment sign. All this, you know what I'm saying? Look at Marjorie Trader Green. She got the unemployment sign, right? And we're going to start seeing this with these so-called politicians more so, right, than what we're looking at here, because you can't grift anymore. Your districts are actually integrated with the rest of the state. And this is the way it should have been. What they did, the Democrats and them, and we're talking about people before them that have set this thing up in some of these redistricting, right? It's all unconstitutional, man. And it's a beautiful thing, you know? It's unconstitutional. Yep. And I appreciate you guys coming in on here and things like that. I really appreciate it. Some of the guys I do see before. But we have to talk about it even more so, right? Because blacks should have been way ahead right now. But they actually have what? Oh, man. We should, I mean, as a group, as a community, there's no way in the world, though, man. I mean, some of them sound like they're talking like they're in the 1800s. There's no way for it. There's illiteracy and so forth, poor education, poor neighborhoods. I've talked about a lot of this stuff with a friend of mine. I said, I wanted to kind of recap a little bit on this because this is so important as well. We are winning, right? We are winning. And if you're trying to hold this type of stuff up, it's really sad. Dilapidated neighborhoods, crime, violence, drugs, gang activity. No wonder. And then we talk about how they were cooking the books with the crime statistics. They were over here, when we had illegals doing crimes, they were classifying them as white. And this is why the numbers of whites grew dramatically. Wasn't all that many whites doing all that damn crime like that, but they were cooking the books. Now the books are cleaned up with the DOJ, FBI. Back in the days before Trump, I knew they were cooking the books, right? But this is what they do to try to sell a narrative about how whites are supposed to be a lot more violent, right? And so forth, right? Instead of looking at our communities and seeing for what it is. Because if you come from a single parent home, the chances of violence is going to be so much greater. Because you don't have that father element in there. You just have the mother. She's at work. I know how it go. I grew up in the black community. What you think the boys are going to be doing? You know what I'm saying? So they're going to get out there, and some of them will get into trouble. And that's with any group. If I do the same thing to whites and others, what you think is going to happen? Crime is supposed to go up because you don't have the black, or I should say, you don't have the male element in the home. And they did this purposely. So therefore, they can secure their positions. As Lyndon B. Johnson said, I can have the you-know-what's voting for the Democrat for the next 200 years. He said that for the next 200 years. And that's a long time, right? But the mask is off. We see these people for what they really are. And this is why you don't get anything from Al Sharpton. They going in on Al right now. Rev, they going in on these people. Applehead, Roland Martin, they going in. Maxine Wicked West Waters, they going in on these people, right? Because they never have a solution politically to help us, which is their own people. A lot of them come from out of the same neighborhoods. They get a position, they get an opportunity. Here they go. They turn their backs, right? They don't see you, see me. Right? But what they do is that they have pushed victimhood on the so-called black community. Look at all the victimhood that's going on right now, right? You still got it. I mean, they over here begging and crying. I saw that so-called, what's that, almost like a riot almost happened, saying over there. What was that at? That was in Louisiana, Tennessee. I think it was Tennessee. It was disgraceful, man. But the mind, right, and the programming over years and years of years, it's a black code and all the rest of this stuff to say that we must have a black leader. We must be Democrat. They must be. This is the mentality that's going on, right? And trying to break that programming is like being in a cult, because it's very cultish. They are minority group. They're not the majority. How they gonna sit up here and say they're majority? You are in a cult, my friend, right? If you voting for the D in the black community, you should be looking at policies. I never say you should be married to a particular party. Right now, MAGA looks better than the Democrats. Even moderates and blacks and others know this, right? Until something else comes along. But right now, there's nothing else coming along that's going to be better. Blacks they kept blacks from even trying to open up and start their own, try to start their own party. Because these so-called degenerates, the people that sit at the top, the so-called black elite class or whatever like that, they're the Divine Nine, Boule, Talented Tenth. We have heard these terms before. These are the true gatekeepers, right? They gatekeep on the so-called black community. Only certain types of people, skin color and all, scholastics and all, rise to the top, right? And they pick them. You go to your HBCUs, universities, Howard, Spelman, and all the rest of them, right? 109 historical black colleges throughout the United States. And unfortunately, these are the places where they pick from, right? But now that is being exposed for what it really is. This is the reason why. So for the first time, blacks are going to have to learn to think for themselves, decide on which candidate that's going to vote for, that's going to benefit for us in our inner city community. You can't run blackface no more. That's not going to work. We need tangible stuff that we can see that's going to benefit, because we want the crime to go away. You want the jobs to come back into the city. How are you going to do that? They had every opportunity, these so-called blackface DMs, that nobody put pressure on them because it was a thing. You have to have courage to stand up and not be a coward. You have to stand up and call this ish for what it really is. You have to call it out, right? And that's exactly what it is. You have to be willing to call it out. And have they done that as a group? No. They were running what we call black code is what it is. Black code. That's exactly what they were doing, you know what I'm saying? Which is pretty sad. But like I said, we're in a better situation than we ever have been in before.
Thank you for the likes.
We are in a better situation than we ever have been before. You know what I'm saying? No more separate but equal. We are all Americans. And blacks going to have to start, like I said before, having a new mindset. I know you've been relying on Maxine Waters and all the rest of them. They're not going to be able to cut it because a lot of these people, if I was running, I could be able to run for not only blacks, but I could be able to run for whites. You know why? Because I'm talking about policies that work in our city, local government and all, right? It's something that we need. I would be addressing the issues all the time, right? Aren't you tired of crime? Should be addressed. We talking about removal of drugs, bad, not working street lights and so forth. We want cleaner stores. We want to promote more black entrepreneurs and things like this, as well as others, right? As well as others. And it's open for whites, blacks, and others. It ain't for a particular group. But that's what they made you to think. But who was gatekeeping on that? Oh, once again, it's because the black Boule. They were gatekeeping on this stuff. And this is why none of the stuff got done. It never got done. So now, once again, you can cry about it, you can beg, but the redistricting is staying because it's unconstitutional to gerrymander like this. You know what I'm saying? It's unconstitutional. And this is why they fail. The Democrats did that in California. They've been doing it so much. And then when you go in with the Supreme Court judge, what are they doing? They're just reversing it, turning it back around, right? This is exactly what it is, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm very excited about this. This is a wonderful day because this all goes into what I was talking about earlier. You know what I'm saying? Making America great again, where blacks are going to really decide for themselves. You don't need no black leader. I don't have no black leader, right? I lead myself, right? We have presidents, governors, and so forth, right? And we're talking about mayors. You're going to have to get used to it. We welcome you back in warm embrace as an American. No more separatist type talk and stuff like that, right? The grift is over. I don't know what they're going to do, but they can't grift with the black folk no more. They can't do that, you know? And you don't want to be on the terrorist watch either and things like that. These people going to have to come up with something else. I don't know what they're going to do. But for you blacks that was on the Democratic slave plantation, you are finally free to be able to pick who you want, demand better in your communities, and probably you're going to definitely be able to find someone that you're going to vote for, right? Because it's not just going to be the blacks voting, it's going to be others, right, as well too. And they know if they don't perform and come through with their promise, right, they are out. They will impeach them. One thing about whites and others, they will impeach your butt. They get you right on out of there. And that's what we need. Blacks should have been doing the same thing. But who miseducated the black folk? They sold this stuff about, black code, you ain't supposed to go against your brother. Whether it's right or wrong, they created all this stuff. You know, it shouldn't have been over 60 years dealing with this nonsense, right? I mean, you know, the Voter Act, they over here acting like, talking about Jim Crow 2.0. If you want to run Jim Crow 2.0, guess who's responsible for Jim Crow 2.0, right? This came from who? The black bourgeoisie, what we call the Democrats, the black faith. These are the ones, right? The gatekeepers. That's where all that came from. 2.0 is coming from them, right? They are the ones that did this type of stuff. And it's mighty funny that the bourgeoisie, they would never tell you who the party that was for, right, our ancestors, right? They would never tell you about the history of the Republican Party, right? They always taught everybody that the Republicans are racist and they bad, but they never told the truth, right? And this, like I said, they got their comeuppings finally, right? Because they all going to be out of a job. And when you can't grift no more, Dr. Umar, well, if you are a doctor, if you can't grift anymore, you're going to have to come up with something else to do. Hopefully you better come up with something legal because they watch it. And those PP loans, those PP loans that people, they coming after that too. You know, hope that some of you guys ain't took advantage of those PP loan scams because they coming. I just was watching something recently about that, right? So you don't want to be in there. You don't want to be there. That ain't what you want, you know? So you're going to have to think for yourself. You're going to have to stop using race and racism to say that what held you back. The people that held you back is these black gatekeepers that some of them that I mentioned, there's many more. Oprah Winfrey, Whoopi Goldberg. There's a lot of them, right? You know, they all in there too, right? They got their millions and billions. They don't care. They ain't trying to sit down with you. They don't see you like that. You think Maxine Waters love you as a black man or woman? It's a facade, man. She's in a $4.5 million home, gated community and stuff. She ain't got surrounded security. She don't see you. She just see you as nothing more than a ninja. And it's the truth. And the rest of them see you as a ninja. So it's about time that you start waking up and start doing for yourself and stop being a victim, because look what the victim thing have gotten. Nothing but ghetto neighborhoods, bad education, right? Death, drugs, prostitution, right? Look at what it is. Underserved communities, disenfranchisement, and it all came under them, right? And I bang on them and tell me if I'm lying, am I wrong, right? Because if we were so wrong, then why would the redistricting pass through the Supreme Court, right? Supreme Judge signed off on it, said it was unconstitutional, what they have been doing over 60 years. We haven't gotten ish back from it. Now we are getting some progress, right? And that's what has to happen. In order to be a free man and woman, we got to push you out there. Start thinking for yourself, right? Start doing better for yourself. And that's exactly what it is. We're trying to shrink big government as it is. They stand for big government. They want big government. We want smaller government. 30% or less. We don't need big government. We don't need overreach government telling us what to do, right? That's what it means to be a Republican. Democrat or socialist Democrats today, right? And we're going to address that though too, because this is the rise of Democrat socialists, right? And we're going to talk about that too. In fact, I guess we can go into it right now. Just give me one moment. This is the rise of them, right? Let's go on and talk about it, because this is exactly what it is, right? Exactly what it is. And I appreciate the likes as well too. But this is our socialist Democrat. Hold on for a minute. Well, my throat get dry though sometimes. Boy, I tell you. Okay, here we go.
Socialism is an economic and political system where the means of production, factories, land, businesses, resources, are owned or controlled by the community, workers, or the government, instead of by private individuals or corporations. Pure socialism, where the government owns almost everything, has been tried in places like the Soviet Union or Mao's China, often with major problems like inefficiency and lack of freedom. Democratic socialism, common today, countries like Sweden, Norway, or Denmark combine capitalism, private businesses, with strong socialist policies, high taxes, universal health care, free college, strong welfare systems. They are not fully socialist but have big socialist elements. Many countries have mixed economies with both systems, public roads, schools, and health care alongside private companies.
All right, so that's basically what it is there. You're hearing this term a lot. Democrat socialism, right? This is what they've been doing today with Mondami and all them and things. So it's basically what you see in like state controlled, state funded supermarkets and all this other kind of stuff. You know, this is something that never worked throughout society, man. We're seeing some places, but it's not going to work though, you know, because this is the people right here. They don't want to debate. They don't want to live by side. They want to take over America and turn it into a Democrat socialist society, right? And this is why you see more violence coming from the far left, because these people are the far left. These are a lot of your lunatics that have been brainwashed for years to sit up here and think and accept that, hey, oh yeah, we got to go after the millionaires and the billionaires. In case they talk about the billionaires, why don't they ever talk about millionaires? Because Mondami was a millionaire way before he became a mayor. They don't never talk about his parents, right? These people are millionaires, man. It shouldn't just be exclusive to just millionaires, because we already talked about the parasitical elite class. Who you think control Mondami, right? It's the same people we talked about earlier. The parasitical elite class that runs everything. They have what we call cartels that control, like I said, communications, education, food, transportation, and even political, right, economic systems. They control this stuff, right? But they want to try to make it sound like, oh yeah, we got to go after the billionaires. You ain't gonna be able to touch them people. Those people are what we call truly untouchable, right? This is basically what it is. But here's the thing about it, man. It's like it doesn't make any sense how they want to sit up in here, and all their leaders are millionaires anyway. We already talked about that. Some of them that you seen that I had the photo up, they were millionaires too. They don't have any type of history where that money come from prior to. If you were to go back into a lot of these people's history, Jasmine Crockett and all the rest of them, they didn't have millions of dollars before. Ilhan Umar did not have $1 million before, right? So look at their early careers. Even for the white was Hillary Clinton and all the rest of them, Bill Clinton, they did not have millions and millions of dollars before. They have enriched themselves as they were in the political arena, like most of them, right? One thing with Trump, he was already a multi-billionaire far before he got into politics, right? Obama, right? Same thing, right? What made Obama lucky because his stepfather had money, right? Lolo Santoro, Barry Santoro, father, he had money, right? Trust funds and everything. A lot of these people have trust funds too, but they want to sit up here and convince you that, oh yeah, the oligarchy of these billionaires and stuff. I'm in agreement to a point because these billionaires actually control Chuck Schumer, right? Bernie Sanders, Hillary, and Kamala Harris, they control them. Where did Kamala Harris get this money? Because she was dating who? You guys know Montel Williams, right? Boy, I tell you though, right? Remember that back in the early days? You know, the downtown Willie Brown and all the rest of this stuff. Willie helped her advance her career, right? I wouldn't be surprised they even helped her pass that bar exam for the law system. I can't see her doing it, man, without some help. Something, because you don't even see her even practicing in anything. Well, I'm talking about Kamala Harris, though. Have y'all ever seen her get down in court? I always heard about this hearsay stuff, right? Something just don't sound right, right? But this is the stuff that we using critical thinking here right now, man. Questioning things, right? As we should. We have a right to question. But, you know, this was all that blackface stuff. Oh, you're not allowed to question a black woman. I can question anybody I want. That's why we call freedom. And I would continue on questioning. And I would continue what I'm doing now. This is exactly what it is, right? So here it is, though, man. We're talking about these people that came into financial prominence after they became in the political seat, not before. It was after. Like I always said, we have to find out where this money have come from, because we already know that there was a USAID fund, which is a slush fund, and that wasn't the only one. The NGOs, right? It makes a lot of sense that could they have taken money from this, which is taxpayers, while we study spending and paying taxes. These people, also parasitical, so-called elite, right, take money from us and enrich themselves. Now, doesn't that sound like a parasitical elitist? They have a mindset, but they fool the people at the lower level because they know they need the votes. But, you know, especially in the black community at that time, they weren't really smart on politics and stuff like that. They were miseducated to vote on blackface, right? Here we go again. So they voted against their better judgment, their best interests. And this is why nothing ever got done, right? But they blamed it on racism. Now, since they cannot, once I said earlier, they cannot use race, right? They cannot hide behind that moniker anymore. Under that banner is what I'm trying to say. They can't hide under that no more. So what's going to end up happening, right? We should start seeing changes throughout these poor, black, destitute areas, because their vote and white vote are going to all count as the same, right? This is exactly what it is. We're not living in no Jim Crow 2.0 society today. Knock it off. Because if we were living in Jim Crow, you wouldn't have the opportunities to go to school, drive a nice car, or drive in certain, you wouldn't be able to do any of that. Go on vacation. You wouldn't be able to do any of the stuff. Knock it off. You know, we have eradicated all that stuff. This is about people standing up, learning to be accountable, and learning to be responsible. This is the number one thing in the black community that blacks have never learned. It's accountability and responsibility. That's the number one thing. And who took that privilege? Who took that away from you? It's the gatekeeping, the so-called parasitical elites, which they are. They're so-called elites, but they're still parasitical at the same time. That means they suck the life off or out of you. keep you impoverished, keep you ignorant, keep you angry, give you false hope, right? This is what they do. So while you screaming and hollering and yelling about, yeah, they took our votes away and all that, listen, you're champion to keep what we call robbers and thieves in the position that they have. They've been robbing and thieving from the black community for a long time. It's just a way of using grift as a polite word, but it's just robbers and stealers and thieves. There's no policy that they have out there that's tangible that actually work for the common black people in our so-called black neighborhoods. Crime was out of control. Trump had to do something about that. They didn't want fix for this stuff. What would it look like, black liberation? They'd be out of a job. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to cut their face to spite. They're not going to do that. Because doing this and cleaning up the inner city, they would be out of a job. Right? So they kept it going. Keep the strife in the neighborhoods and stuff. Come on, blacks. You know what I'm talking about, man. You've been in the hood. Some of you guys grew up in the hood just like me. And we know that blackface in power, in the seat, when you vote for this person, they are the gatekeepers. They don't have no ambition of making sure that these black neighborhoods flourish. They'll be out of a job. But now they're out of a job. That's why I put that sign up. And I'm going to put some other signs up because you're going to start seeing more of them. James Clyburn's position, he's on the chop block. They're all on the chop block. We go right down the list. Maxine Wookie West Waters, you on the chop block, madam. You are on the chop block. Facts. You've been in politics since 1991. You look at your district, right? Look at you, right? Look at Al Sharpton, right? Action Network and all the rest of that stuff. And the black clergy too. I'm coming after you guys too. Look at what you guys have been doing. You have made an undeveloped people to think that racism was holding them back. You know who the real racists are? The people I just named. Those are the racists and many more, right? Look at it. Whoopi Goldberg and all the rest of them, racists against their own people, which is us, right? The jig is up. Everybody see the stuff for what it really is. The SPLC, the Democrat Party, you got the Boule, the bourgeoisie, right? Gatekeepers, all of it is all in the same umbrella. No damn wonder being a Democrat, we never thought being a Democrat would hurt so much. It hurted us in the inner cities, in these inner communities. The grift is over. The grift is over. You don't have anything left, right? You may have to find another job or something else. You're going to go in politics, remember. Because whites and others are not going to put up with your shenanigans. They are not going to deal with it. You're going to either have to produce or you're going to be gone, right? And that's what happened, you know? And it's going to continue happening. You don't have the leverage. You the minority. I'm talking about these so-called black leaders and stuff. They are the minority. They ain't got nothing coming. And we know this. We're not concerned about it. They don't have no position of bargaining whatsoever. All this other stuff you see here, running off at the mouth, they don't have it. That's why they're upset. Nothing they can do. This is reckoning time now, right? This is true black liberation, right? Where blacks can finally make choices and think for themselves, right? Without any type of retribution, right? Because they don't have the power no more. And soon, you ain't going to see these people no more. Boy, I tell you, man, it's a beautiful thing, ladies and gentlemen. We have won in America. America is coming back together. No separate America. Everybody going to sing the American anthem. That's the only thing, right, is a Star-Spangled Banner and pledging allegiance to the flag and all the rest of that stuff, right? Because America is the land of the free and the home of the brave, right? Freedom, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, right? And it all starts here. Who programmed them to think otherwise, right? They got you away from presidents and governors and so forth, people that can really make policy change, right? Only don't they make it sound like the Democrat so-called elite gatekeepers, they convince a lot of black people to think that they the only one that can make policy change. Not one of them made policy change. Name me a policy coming from Maxine Wicked West Waters or any of them. What have they done to help the black community? They have not, right? What have they did and what have they done? Not one thing, right? Not one thing. This is why we are in this situation now, right? So this is real black liberation. Thanks to Trump and MAGA, you have real black liberation now. You have been liberated from your black so-called bourgeoisie gatekeeper oppressors, because that's exactly what they are. And if anybody don't know who the Boule is, B-O-U-L-E. This is the group that, Divine Nine and all the rest of them, right? They don't offer nothing when it come down to the upliftment and the education, right? And this is the group that has been holding them down. That's why I say, stop looking for a white man under the Ku Klux Klan uniform. You will be surprised to find out that that person is going to look like me underneath that hood, which is called the Black Klansman. And that's what they are. Can't you understand? And a lot of you do. You know what I'm saying? I don't mind them coming in the room, but they don't have no power. They're upset because until you're not, and then once they start seeing things get better, and I had a conversation yesterday with a friend of mine. You know, he was telling me about what was it? Basically, am I going to see change in these inner cities? I said absolutely, because when they vote, it won't be this how it was in the past, where they have been disenfranchised, separated, and they were put in their own little group. And then who profited from this? From their own little black groups. The people at the top, the gatekeepers and all them, they profited from it, right? And they allow their people to suffer for their financial gain. They rise is our what fall. That's exactly what it is, right? This is something, ladies and gentlemen, that I said I was going to come back and do a part 2 on. And I said I felt the need to want to segue in this as well, though, because this is major. And the question would have to be, well, we know why now. But the question that I always put out, why haven't blacks ever come to, prominence in the so-called black community? And we know the reason why, right? Because these policies were pushed by Lyndon B. Johnson, right? And he put some policies in and it destroyed it. That's why Lyndon B. Johnson said, man, I can have these ninjas voting for the next 200 years, which is true. Because he knew that blacks was married to the Democratic Party. And they haven't gotten nothing tangible. Only thing they can do is keep their so-called black leader in power. Why? The so-called black cult leader is what I call them. A cult leader, right? Because when you have a cult, right, you usually have people at the top or some type of committee, right? Well, you got the you got the black clergy, right? But they don't do anything. They just spew out racism. And they blame everything on Trump. While at the same time, blacks ain't got nothing tangible. Now, you know I make a very, very good point. I make a very good point. Why hasn't blacks ever come to prominence? That's the question. And we know why. Because we got modern day black Klansmen that have set up policies to continue going on that is negative towards blacks that are living in these neighborhoods. Crime is a lot of money. There's no money in black liberation. Behind closed doors, all of them know this. In blackface, they all know this. They know that there's no limit of liberation, but the fight continues. We got to keep on fighting. That's what they say. The black clergy and all the rest of them. We got to keep on fighting racism. Racism is a lot of money, guys. You can make a lot of money using racism. Man, if I decided to go down that grift, I'd just be another grifter. Yeah, racism, the reason why you don't have anything, the reason why you don't have a good car or a job is racism. Your credit bad is racism. Don't sound familiar, right? Racism. Once again, boy, I can't get ahead. Racism, right? Boy, I can't get that girlfriend due to my economical situation, right? Boy, I can't travel out of the country. Got to take money. It's racism. Man, we heard that all our life. And guess who was behind it? The Black Klansmen. I'm going to call them for what they really are, right? That's exactly what they is. We talk about all the Trump stuff, talk about all the deregulation stuff, because he's been making a hell of an impact against the parasitical elite class. And for you that don't even know what's going on, you don't even know what's up with that. You don't have a clue. We went over that earlier. That's why I don't want to stay on it, because talking about that to someone, what are you talking about, parasitical elite class? Who is that? Who is the globalist? Who is this? If you don't know that, then you totally lost in the sauce. Don't think that we don't have them in the black community. We have them as well. They also they're sock puppets. They do the bidding of the globalists, right? A lot of them are millionaires. How you think they became millionaires? It wasn't off their own push. If you look at, for some of you that don't know, it's this black guy named Umar Johnson, right? Using him as an example. You go into his early life, he didn't have the money. He sounded good, went to school, all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's even questionable about his doctorate degree. No, most of the time you can just pull up people and find, why is it so hard to find out if this guy has a doctorate degree or not? I'm not saying he may not have a degree. He may have one, may have two. But as far as a doctorate degree, it shouldn't be this difficult, right? But I'm using him as an example because who does he appeal to? Low income, mostly women, single mamas, right? This is who these types of grifters appeal to. They got them in the so-called conscious community, black community, all this other stuff. They don't have nothing tangible. And that's what we're looking for. So I would ask you, who is more of a sellout? Is it them or is it me? Because I'm not no leader of nothing. I'm over here just taking care of myself. I'm just some random dude. But I have to call this out because what they was in these positions, they're not married to any of these black women. They always call them queens all the time. You should be married to one. And sisters, you should be demanding better. You know what I'm saying? Because this transactional dating, hey, I get it. That's what it's turned into, right? But if you want more, if you are the queens they say you are, they should be married. You should be married to one of them. Umar should be married. That's not my business, but I'm just saying. If you want to look at success, right, you got to deal with your own self, your own family first. You can't be worrying about everybody else. If you worry about everybody else, stuff get neglected, your life fall down. Get your life together first, right? That's what I'm doing. Be that example, right? Instead of getting out here, whatever, and all this other kind of stuff. And that's what these grifters do because they're getting paid from it. I'm not. They are. They get paid for their lying. They get paid for cheating and the deceit, right? They get paid for this stuff. The grift is over, as I said earlier in my other live, right? This is something that we had to talk about, had to segue this into, right? Trump doing great things, deregulation, right? From education, he took it away from the government, right? Working on food. Food was controlled one time, deregulating that. We can go right down the list. It's all being deregulated, whether you want to like it or not. Because you mean to tell me that Trump is the reason why you in this situation, or is it the black parasitical elite, so-called elite class that wear the white Ku Klux Klan hood? Like I said, we'll win that argument all day long. It is the black Ku Klux Klan that wear the hoods and all the rest of that stuff. That is the reason why you cannot get ahead. No longer we have to worry about that because we won in the redistricting. They have not. We getting rid of all the gerrymandering right out through the South. We guys wipe that out. You're gonna get on board with it. If you don't like it, you can always go and leave the country and go somewhere else. Go to Africa. Some of you going to Africa and some of them are coming back. I want you to stay. If you don't like it, if you under a tyrant, that you got, here it is. We exposed, this already been exposed. The Black Ku Klux Klansmen, but you mean to tell me that you want to protect them? See, that's that mind programming stuff, ladies and gentlemen. When you're in a cult, it's hard to break away from the cult. A lot of people get violent trying to leave a cult. You know, I do you one better. If you don't like it in America, you can do like some of my relatives. Go and move somewhere else. Go to another country where you think that's going to be better than America, right? Shit, you've been living under poverty before. You never had to smoke for none of them. But now you got to smoke for somebody that's white that's been saving America versus what they've been doing. These are sock puppets of this parasitical elite class. You can't sit up here and tell me otherwise, right? I done went over Trump's policies. He has many of them. At least his stuff is tangible. We already talked about where the gas and the oil been going up because of OPEC. They're the cartel of the oil industry. They dictate with the regulations. They can decide on how much the oil is. You got to admit yourself, there was no reason for the oil prices to skyrocket up, right? There's no reason for it because we don't even get our oil from OPEC. I mean, Iran. We don't get our oil over there at all. But why did it go up? Because they waited like they always do. Parasitical elite class think like this. Whenever there's a war, you know this from the past. Obama, all the rest of them. Gas prices go up. They count on this so they can make what? More money. They don't give a damn about us. No president set the oil prices. That's foolish. It's the cartel of the oil industry that does. I already went over this earlier in my video. I did a thing, I had the guy to explain it, what was really going on with OPEC, right? This is why we are in the situation now. Knock it off. It's not going to work. You act like the oil price is going to stay up forever. The UAE, right? They have already pulled away from who? OPEC. There's others that are pulling away. So without the regulations, they can set their prices how they want. We're going to have global competition when it comes down to the oil. How the hell can it stay up when we got global competition, right? The supply and demand, right? We know that the demand is way up there, right? And if we can flood it with being able to supply and demand, that's the key. More things in supply, demand start going down because the price is supposed to go down. This is economics 101, right? Straight like that, right? That's exactly what it is. But like I said, for some that's not convinced, you just got to keep living, as my mother say, and you'll start seeing, he'll say, yep, there you go. The prices start going down. It is already predicted that when they pull away from this cartel of oil criminals, we're going to have way more opportunity. And this is from every nation around the world. You know what I'm saying? We got Venezuela, we got Canada. These are big countries that are heavy suppliers of oil. There should be no reason that the prices are the way they are now, right? But the parasitical elite class, they knew Trump was going to go in there. Trump went in there to destroy, right? This the Ayatollah and the leadership over there and all the rest of that stuff. And another thing is to get that uranium. Get that uranium. They cannot have access to a nuclear capability because this would be all bad. So he has been taking away the threats, the global threats, right? Because I do believe that we will go in there and get that uranium, right? We're going to get it. We're going to get it up on out of there, right? We are going to get it. We cannot and we will not have them that be able to produce a nuclear capability. We do not want that and we won't have that. No, right? Because we look to see how irresponsible they were. In the end, this is a globalist playground. They love Iran. They love, this is one of their backyards where they can, look at it, they love the control. Don't you find it that they love Muslims so much? They really do. Hate Christians, but they love Muslims. Even the Democrats, socialists love Muslims, but they hate Christians. Ain't that something? Man, I find that to be rich, right? They love Muslims, they love terrorist organizations, but they hate Christians, right? They really do. Boy, I tell you, man. They love, transgender people, right? They love the children too. They want the children and mutilation of the children. They want the the men to play in women's sports. This is the type of insanity that's coming from this far alt left, right? We talking about Democrat socialists. Mondummy even said that he's one. AOC is one, right? These are people that are Democratic socialist, far left, the most dangerous people that should not be in power, right? These people, right? Unfortunately, the Democrats have allowed their party to be hijacked, right? And this is why they're losing on the grand scheme of things, right? How is they winning on anything? Trump has been kicking the deep state's ass, the actual Democrats and all the rest of them, right? I'm talking about the far alt left, the Democrat socialists. This is what we're dealing with, right? This is what they're dealing with. They don't want you to have no school choices. They don't want you to have choices to be able to go to supermarkets. It's going to be one controlled, state-funded, state-controlled supermarkets, right? Well, pretty soon we're going to be talking about the bread lines. When you don't do something they tell you to do, guess what? They take your social credits away from you. Don't think they were trying to do this stuff and bring this stuff to America, right? UK is in serious trouble. Germany is in serious trouble. France is in serious trouble. Even look at some of these Scandinavian countries like Sweden and all the rest of them. They are in trouble, right? Norway, they're in trouble, right? And look at Canada. They're in trouble. They're in big trouble, man, right? Because the way that they got those boys all under control, they can't even mass produce their own energy source anymore. This is what another con, right? Because when you take what's producing, you take that away and put windmills and solar farms and all this other kind of stuff. They are nowhere near efficient as having your own reactors and other type of energy sources that was always have worked and produced, right? So this is stuff. Just what Trump declared, right? Having our energy independence as number one. That's why we went in and they're losing. He even gave them a warning, but we already know the people are not in control. It's their installed leaders, right? Like I said, their installed leaders are nothing more than international bankers. They put them in position, right, to set up these policies and stuff against the people, but for the globalists. Rah, rah, rah for the globalists, right? That's who's controlling them. The same people that's controlling what's going on in the economic system, energy and so forth, right? Food, communications, education are the same people that got the colorist revolution, right? The BLM, right? All the rest of this stuff. These are the same people that control them too. While you going out in the streets protesting, you know you're getting paid for it anyway, right? How you think that happened, right? Once again, you know, these are the people that's behind all this type of ish. This is why we in a situation, well, we ain't in a situation no more thanks to Trump, you know what I'm saying? His policies actually worked, right? For America, right? And they will continue on, right? Working for the American people. You don't have anything under Joe Biden. He was the opposite. He was for regulations, sent all that money to Ukraine, allowed all these illegals to come into America. And guess what? Since he's been doing that, let's talk about it, right? Because I got something right here. This is what I really wanted to try to share. Hold on for a minute. Where is my thing? Hold on for a minute. Nope, that's the wrong one here. Let me see here. Where is that at? All right, hold on. There it is. All right. So let me go ahead and open this up. Okay. So since the illegal, hold on for a minute. Let me use the restroom real quick. Give me one moment, ladies and gentlemen. And we're going to get into this before I get up on out of here to go back to work. I appreciate you guys for showing up and stuff and showing out at the same time. Just give me one moment.
Welcome to the All-Star Clown Review.
Free balloons for all!
Welcome to the All-Star Clown Review.
Free balloons for all!
Welcome to the All-Star Clown Review.
Free balloons for all!
Welcome to the All-Star Clown Review.
Free balloons for all!
Welcome to the All-Star Clown Review.
Free balloons for all!
Welcome to the All-Star Clown Review.
Free balloons for all!
Welcome to the All-Star Clown Review.
Free balloons for all!
Welcome to the All-Star Clown Review.
Free balloons for all.
Welcome to the All-Star Clown Review.
Free balloons for all.
Welcome to the All-Star Clown Review.
Free balloons for all.
Welcome to the All-Star Clown Review.
Free balloons for all.
Welcome to the All-Star Clown Review.
Free balloons for all.
Welcome to the All-Star Clown Review.
Free balloons for all.
Welcome to the All-Star Clown Review.
Free balloons for all.
Welcome to the All-Star Clown Review.
Free balloons for all.
Welcome to the All-Star Clown Review.
Free balloons for all.
Welcome to the All-Star Clown Review.
Free balloons for all.
Welcome to the All-Star Clown
I had to put
Review.
that green
Free
screen
balloons
back
for
up,
all.
man. Green screen, boy.
Welcome
Love that
to the
green
All-Star
screen. Let me go ahead
Clown
and take this
Review.
down.
Free balloons.
All right, so there that is. Oops, wait a moment. I got to put myself back up here. Okay, there I am. Okay, so let's go ahead and show what happens if deport, right? What happens if we deport all the illegals? This is the big question here, and we got an answer for it, right? Rent is supposed to drop at least by 30%, right? Home prices should drop as well. $1 trillion in education costs saved. $70 billion in welfare saved. Healthcare, right, would drop. Gas would drop. Now, going back to the illegals, right? How can the when we have illegals in our country, and they brought a lot of them, we're talking about 15 to 25 million illegals that came in here under the Biden and Kamala Harris administration, right? These people came in here, right, which drove everything up. It drove the cost of rent way up, you know? It drove home pricing up. It drove trillions of dollars of educational costs. Now you're seeing teachers, right? They got to speak Spanish to accommodate for the Spanish-speaking students. And they're not even citizens, right? Sanctuary cities. It costs a lot of money to run a sanctuary city. This is stuff that they don't talk about. But we're going to talk about it because it costs. Everything is a cost to it. It's a price tag, right? You know, the politicians on the left, I'm talking about far left. These are the same people, Democratic socialists from the left, the alt left, the far left, right? They do not like the fact, right, that illegals can't come in the country. They're for open borders. They said so. They don't believe in borders. They want open borders. They want everybody should have a chance, and they want these illegals to be what? With the anchor babies and all that, right? They want them here in America, right? We're talking about it, you know? Birthright citizenship and all this other stuff. That came from them, right? This has really been a Democrat policy for a long time. But guess who also shares that? The Democrat socialists as well too. Look at this, man. It's like everything costs when you have illegal immigration coming into a country. It cannot sustain itself. You're going to see UK. Look at UK right now. Look at UK. They got all those illegals over there and terrorists over there and Sharia law and graping on the women and all the rest of that stuff. That's what's going on. We're going to see that these countries, right? And I feel sorry for the people in the UK. It's your political people that I do not like. I'm talking people that hold in your parliament and your so forth. I can't stand them. The people, a lot of them are innocent. You know? So you're going to have to figure out a way because it's going to get much worse if you're in the UK. It's going to get much worse in France, much worse in Germany, right? It's going to get worse, man. Same thing in Canada, you know? Man, oh, man. Boy, I tell you, Mark Carney, oh, man, the prime minister over there in Canada, you know, he's part of their system. Parasitical elite class, right? Got to know that. Look at the moves. They had to get who? Trudeau out of there, Justin Trudeau out of there, because Justin Trudeau wasn't a smart dude. You know, he wasn't smart. They had to put one of their own in there, right? Just like we have another person that's running the Federal Reserve, right? Talking about Jerome Too Late Powell. That's they boy. He's a sock puppet. That's they boy. He's been trained as an international banker. These guys are all in on it. We pull it off the sheet again. There they are, right? These are the people, right? They are the ones that controlling the economy, controlling what goes on, right? They're being told and then they carry it out. That's what they do. They're still sock puppets. But there that is. So this is another thing, ladies and gentlemen, man. How is we getting ahead and how are we winning, right? How are we going to win? Because we elected a man, and that person is Donald J. Trump, right? The man who has the balls to go up against the parasitical elite class, go after the deep state, right? Put up deregulations, right? This is exactly what's going on, right? This is the man right here when you start looking at, because like I said before, Joe Biden, basement Obama, there were 4 regulations. And it suffered. They allowed all these illegals to come in here. And this is where the economy, we had it as high as 9% under Joe Biden, right? Shut down the Keystone pipeline, right? They put regulations. Why would you shut down the Keystone pipeline? Why would you stop onshore drilling? Texas and some of these other, why would you do it? If you start claiming that you deregulations, Obama, why did you do it, right? You did it for control for these elitists, right? So they can control America like they've been controlling these other countries. Because if you don't are producing natural energy and so forth, you got to rely on someone else because really they're going to give everything to China anyway. That's going to be real. China was their mascot. That was their Build-A-Bear, was China was going to run everything, right? And thanks to Trump, we stopped it. He stopped it, right? In America, he stopped it. Trump and his administration, well, we got back to Panama Canal. Y'all remember that? Jimmy Carter gave it up. Carter, right? He gave it up. I love how you say that. You can't say Carter. You got to say Carter, you know? But yeah, Jimmy Carter gave that up. Trump got it back, right? Look at what's going on, right? The Panama Canal is what America built. This is America ingenuity, right? This is exactly what it is, right? Look what he's been doing, running the Monroe Doctrine, right? We got Greenland, man. It's a beautiful thing, man. Stop the threat there. Got the resources there, right? We got, look at all the deregulations that Trump had to get rid of so we could start back drilling over here in America, right? Making America strong, making America great again. They don't talk about this stuff. Oh, he's a tyrant. Listen, Obama was the one, right? Because he was for regulations. Biden, right? Biden was for what? Regulations. Trump was for deregulations, right? Boy, I tell you, it's a beautiful thing, right? This is what it feels like to be an American because it's about freedom. They put this deregulations. Look at what Bill Clinton did with NAFTA, right? The worst disaster ever. Right? Look what they did. Look at it. We're supposed to be producing cars in America. Ingenuity came out of America, not Mexico, not Canada, but America. And Americans should have had those jobs. This came under Bill Clinton. He was also regulations as well too. We done had, I should call them regulation presidents that love big government. They all love big government. Oh my goodness, we got to raise the taxes. Taxes, gotta raise them. They love raising taxes. They love illegals. There was a time where even Clinton and them didn't like no illegals. Even early Hillary Clinton, I showed that before. Now they changed course. Now we love illegals, right? We want them in here. Why would they want them in here? Because they want America to what? Be destroyed, bankrupt. Take the money from the American people. Take our wealth from the American people. Give the Americans no hope. Set aside programs for illegals and everything like this, right? And they did this purposely, right? They did this, but who stopped it? Trump, right? You want to know the reasons why we voted for Trump? I'm giving you a lot of reasons. Whether you believe it or not, that's exactly what it is. They have programmed you to hate a person that's doing way more than Obama or any one of these damn presidents. They can't hold a candle to Trump. Facts. Your dear beloved Obama, he will be arrested. He will go to prison. That's going to happen. He will have those silver bracelets, right? Because once we get a hold of that uranium, and they already know where that was being traced, why that was stolen and things, and boy, they got him on a lot of stuff too. That ain't all, but you know how Trump, he's a person that's a planner, building a foundation for the arrests, right? Gathering information, making sure all the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed. It's just how he is. He just don't run in and do something with no arrest. He has to set up the evidence, and there's so much evidence that's against these people, right? They cannot fight back. Just, you know what I'm saying? Look at what we discovered about the SPLC. All that came about from who? The Trump administration. They buried this stuff before, man. We got functioning DOJ now, right? We got functioning FBI that go out and fight crime. Look at what Cash Patel been doing, right? He got indictments up the wazoo. Stuff going towards the grand jury, right? They can't fight against this. The evidence are steady compounding up. More and more and more and more and more. That's why I love it so much. It feels good, ladies and gentlemen, to be on a winning team, right? Because the Dems and then the far Democrat socialists, they all going down. They're trash anyway. Their party is trash. The liberal Democrats allow these people to hijack their party. That's why you see it, a lot of them jumping ship. But I am going to say this, though, for people that support Trump, including MAGA, we cannot allow these people into the Republican Party because we don't want to have a bunch of rhinos, right? And that's what they're doing. They're jumping ship to try to come up under as being a Republican, right? And like I said, these people that once were Democrats, you got to keep your eye on them. I don't even trust, what's his name, John Featherman, to be honest with you, though, man. But Trump think that he can offer a lot of money and things like that to become a Republican. I don't trust Featherman, man, at all. Nor do I trust any of these socialist Democrats and whatever they are, man. I don't trust them because we done seen this. That's all the rhino is nothing but a liberal. You know, they don't push policy. They just sit up in the seat and block anything because in order for the parasitical elite class to protect itself, it has to put people in position to keep the narrative going, right? That's what it is. That's why all this lawfare stuff, they've been planning for a long time. So in case if something were to challenge their system like Trump, they got so-called safeguards into place, right? Low-level judges and all the rest of them that's overreaching their judgment or overreaching their overreach, right, to try to stop Trump. We got to stop Trump. That's what the whole thing. We got to stop Trump. Stop Trump. Stop Trump. Stop Trump. Because all of the deregulation and policies that he's implementing, he has been removing Biden stuff, Obama stuff, and some of Clinton stuff, right? He's been doing it, right? And this is what we need, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm going to keep talking about this all the way up to the midterms. And by that time, we should start seeing arrest. And I do believe that he's just saving some goodies until later. That's my belief anyway. It'll have to be because we got the midterms online, the American Save Act. That's going to happen. Where we're going to make it impossible for these far, all left, we call left-wing dangerous people, man, right? To make it impossible for them to cheat. We done already took their phony gerrymandering districts away. That should have never been happened. It should have never happened in the first place. And that's going spreading out through the South, man. I love it, man. I looked at that projection map. That's why I told y'all the red, what I say, tsunami. They even had people coming in here talking like I'm talking crazy. It's called the red tsunami. It ain't a wave. We talking about a tsunami. We talking about the big granddaddy of the wave of them all, right? Boy, I tell you, man, boy, you look at that big wave, it's just hitting America. engulfed with the red tsunami, right? That's what's covering America. And the Dems know they don't have no fight at all. Y'all gonna have to find, somebody gonna be in prison. You might have to find another line of work, right? Because the stuff don't work. People done woke up now. They already been red pilled, man. It's a beautiful thing, ladies and gentlemen. So yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead on and stop this. I gotta start cutting this stuff early, man, because I gotta get back out to work. But you guys have been great, man. For the most part of it, you guys showed up. We showed out, talked a little bit more of what's going on, right? We talked about the parasitical elite class, you know, with all these billionaires like George Soros and the list of them, Bill Gates and all them. When the left talk about billionaires, these are the people that they're talking about. That's what they should be talking about, right? Even though Trump is a billionaire, but like we said, his policies, and look how they've been coming down after him. Does it look like Trump is part of that type of group? They don't go after their own. They go after people that are against them, right? That's the thing about it. You ain't never seen Bill Gates come under this kind of scrutiny. You ain't never seen Eric Kessler come under this type of scrutiny. You ain't never seen George and Alex Soros ever come under this kind of scrutiny at all. And the list goes on and on and on. Those are billionaires, right? Right? You think what's his name? Jeff Bezos and all of them. Have any of them ever came under what Trump had? They wouldn't be able to take it, man. I mean, these are the billionaires. Right? These are the people that they talk about billionaires. Are y'all talking about those? Or which billionaires are you talking about? Because these are the ones that's controlling your sock puppets that you worship so much, right? They're all in league with each other, right? This is criminals. It's a syndicate. Can't you understand that? That's why before Trump, no matter who's Republican, who's Democrat, the agenda is still the same outside of Trump, right? We done had the Bushes, right? The Bushes were protected. You know, even though some of y'all didn't like Bush because he had an R next to his name. But it was a WWE. It was just a big game. But it's not a game no more because for the first time in history, we got people, 77 million plus, that voted for Trump. And this is why Trump is the president, right? This is exactly what it is, right? It wasn't no being fixed, you know, because we know the Democrats always have to cheat in order to win elections. We already seeing how the cheating apparatus is, how it's being played out, what they do, right? All that's shut down. You don't have no more, your districts is gone. Things have been shut down. Boy, we are looking so good, you know? You think we worried about it? It's steady going on, right? The red tsunami wave is continuously getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So by the time midterms, it's going to be a catastrophic defeat to these Dems. And I'm gonna actually record. I'm gonna do a live stream. The meltdowns, the crying, and all the rest of that stuff will commence. I'm looking forward to that. And I'm gonna be laughing with my popcorn. We're gonna have a good time. Hopefully I can have this Discord thing up. So for my members, we're going to have a great time, man. I tell you, man, it's a beautiful thing, man, to be able to sit back here and know what winning looks like. We're talking about all Americans, not just some black and white. Everybody is American. We're going to get away from all this race baiting, race talk stuff. I'm a black American. No, you American, right? I don't want to hear all this stuff no more. This is crap. It just divides people. And that's what they were doing, right? Keep dividing people. No longer, ladies and gentlemen, we don't have to deal with that no more, you know. Blacks gonna be able to compete. I'm talking about the ones that been up under the Democrats for so long, they even stopped thinking for some of them. They gotta have a black leader to think for them. It's the most ridiculous thing ever, man. You'll never hear me talk about, I gotta have a black leader. I don't believe in no black leader. I believe myself. I don't give them no money at all. None, right? I'm not giving you something that you didn't produce. You ain't made nothing. You don't have no policies, nothing to help the inner cities and the communities. Facts. You just been talking. Yap, but you don't have nothing tangible, right? And that's what we're talking about here, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm really glad that you guys came out and hang out with me today when we undercover, talk about this stuff. They make themselves look really foolish, though. But like I said before, their grift is over, and the rest of these Dems, too. They're going to shut this whole Democrat, the socialist stuff. It's all going to be shut down, ladies and gentlemen. We ain't got to even worry about this stuff no more. Their protests is getting smaller and smaller. I was out there earlier, man. They were standing out there. We talking about senior citizens. No young people. Senior citizens. 50s, 60s, and up. Standing out there holding a stupid sign. Talking about no kings. They don't have they don't want to have no idea. They just get paid. It's not even real. It's not a real protest. And guess who's behind that? The same parasitical elite class, right? That's behind that. Just like they were behind a lot of things, right? The Ku Klux Klan, the SPLC, and all the rest of that stuff. All this stuff was all their creation, right? And I'm glad to see it coming to an end, ladies and gentlemen. Let you know how God works, right? Boy, who is the master planner? God, right? Boy, I tell you, and he gave us a champion to deal with this stuff, right? Obama couldn't do it. He had an opportunity to do it, but Obama can't do it. Obama never been under this type of scrutiny ever, right? But it's coming to a close. It's coming to an end, right? So let's do this here, though, too. I'm going to go ahead and look on some of the comments, and then after that, Black Guy 9, hold on for a minute. I got to do some acknowledgments, ladies and gentlemen. Where my horn at? Okay, we got Black Guy 9 in the house. Do I have any other mods in here, Black Guy 9? Let me see here. All right, we got Black Guy 9. All right, and let me see, Black Guy 9. Okay. All right. I just want to make sure I acknowledge, let me see here. Is any other mods in here besides Black Guy 9 today? I know it's a Saturday. It's a beautiful Saturday today, isn't it? But overall, though, I appreciate you, man, Black Guy 9, and others that come in here. Some of you guys that steady come back. Where's Lou Art Hawk? Where he at, man? Lou always show up. Lou know he love my stuff, man. Come on, Lou. You secret, you know on the down low, you love my channel. I ain't seen him in this room, though, Black Guy 9. I ain't seen Lou Hawk in the house, you know what I'm saying? Oh, man, that's a brother, right? Oh, my goodness, man. Yep, you said Democrats are segregationists and socialists. Yep, it goes right into what we're talking about. Boy, I got a lot of sun coming in here, man. A lot of sun. I'm going to have to draw some of that up. But I like the sun, though, man. Yep, man, that's the thing about it, boy. Jimmy Cartel, We got Bobby Fischer in there. Yeah, Bobby Fischer, I remember you before. Shout out to Bobby Fischer. Got you in here. I do recognize people that's returning, coming back in here, Bobby Fischer in the house. Let me see here. Is there anyone else? Let me see. I see a lot of people in here, though. Before I go on to the Democratic Clown Show, and then I'm gone. But let me see here. Let me see here. Cedric the Entertainer. Hope Iran keeps their promise and stay. I'm just teasing you, Cedric, man. He said, hold on, let me post this up here. Hold on for a minute, y'all. Said something here. He said, I hope Iran keep their promise and stay on point about, what's this? Keep their promise, stay on about something, just censor Trump to, I can't, so got a little bleeded out there. So you hoping that Iran, hold on, are you for Iran? Let me ask, I gotta ask. Cedric, are you for Iran or are you against Iran? That's the question I want to, you know what I'm saying? Say, man, I want to know. Are you for Iran or against Iran before I even say anything? Let's see here. We got Paul in the house. Paul, let me see here. Shout out to Paul, too. Paul been in here before. I do believe, yeah. Joe Biden worked in government for 50 years. He ran for president about 3 times. And we expected to believe he got 81 million votes. How much more than Obama? Yeah, you're absolutely right, though. They cheated. They cheated for this guy right here, man, for Joe Biden. They cheated. There's no way in the world that he got 80 million votes. But once again, being that Trump is a master planner, he allowed Joe Biden, Obama, and the rest of them to cheat. Allowed them to cheat to get him in there, right? So therefore, they can have the evidence. One thing about it, you don't stop an enemy when he's in the process of destroying himself. You let him. And now he did. That's why the evidence is coming out about 2020 elections. It's a beautiful thing, though, boy. I tell you, man. It's a beautiful thing, boy. We got these suckers, man. We're going to cook these suckers. You know what I'm saying? Yep. Trump doing right for America is what Alex says. You right about that? You got that right. Yep. This is the man right here with his deregulations while they regulating, though. You know, but pay no attention to the bots and so forth, man, because, again, we have a real president for the first time, right? This is the same, we got Trump deregulations getting the world, we are world respected now, right? Look at it, America is back #1. We took the spotlight from China, right? China, you know, is steady going down with the oil and all that. They got to pay like everybody else got to pay, you know what I'm saying? He stopped China, you know what I'm saying? Which is a beautiful thing, right? Where they was trying to set it up, China was going to be the new world superpower. We can't have that. You know what I'm saying? Who going to be under Chinese rule, man? They are brutal, especially the foreigners. That's why the people in here just talking ish. They don't really understand what's going on, though, man. I know more about policies and what's going on than they do. I don't read propaganda news. They do, right? They are the ones, right? They keep saying, he's a molester. Listen, and I love it when they come in here. You know who has the real Epstein files? It's the grand jury, right? They steady looking over all this stuff. I'm talking about the real stuff that has not been redacted. It's the real stuff. In the grand jury, they're looking at this stuff, right? They got that too. So when those names are released, when they're able to go after these people, it's going to be a beautiful thing, man. I tell you, man. The 40 list that's out here, that's why I never really pumped it, man. But they got the real list. It's over at the grand jury. They got it. Oh, man. It's a beautiful thing, boy. Once again, you've been fooled and duped by Trump. It wasn't Trump that released them. It was the Dems that wanted it released. They were pressuring Trump, release the file, release the file, release the file. That's why they in the room. Release the Epstein files. Trump, pedo protector. Release the files. Guess who has it? Grand jury. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness, man. It's a beautiful thing. Those ninjas will leave. Yeah, I wish those ninjas would leave. Yeah, you right about that. Yeah, I wish the ninjas would leave, though, because they need to. Oh, man. We got Slick Nick in the house, boy. Hold on for a minute. Let me do my thing here. Slick Nick. Boy, we got Slick Nick in the house, though, you know. Yep. So, yeah, but, yeah, man, this is exactly what it is. The grand jury has the real, unedited, unredacted files of Epstein. You know, they over here shaking on the left. Oh, my goodness, though. Boy, it's a beautiful thing, man. Boy, boy, don't y'all just love it? This is what success look like, you know? This is what it looked like, man. I never was worried at one time, man. He gonna get him on the Epstein stuff. He's gonna get him on the Russia stuff. He gonna get him on the elections that has been stolen from us. He's gonna get him on, what else? There was so many things, though. He's gonna get him on that, spying on his campaign with Spygate. They already have the server that Clinton tried to destroy, you know. You know, they have that too, boy. I tell you, man. Boy, Black Guy 9, man, Slick Nick. Boy, I tell y'all, man. And doesn't it feel good to be on the winning side, man? And then also, the blacks are now liberated in their districts and communities, man. No longer will they have to deal with a so-called black leader, black clergy that sold them up the stream, man, sold them out for chicken change, right? Ain't that what it is with James Brown? Sold me out. I'm mad. How you go? The big payback. Yeah, I'm mad. The big payback. Man, if I could play that right now. Don't. Y'all know what I'm talking about? Don't. Oh, man, I'm going to get you. I'm mad. Yeah. Got to get some get back. Oh, man. Got to get some payback. You know what I'm saying? Oh, man. That'll feel good, though. Boy, we're going to get some get back and payback on these old phony black leaders that don't do nothing. I bomb on all of them, man. Ain't none of them no good, man. You know what I'm saying? So that's the thing about it. Ain't no F both parties. There's a party that is going down. Boy, down goes Frazier. Down goes Frazier. Trump just get that uppercut, man. They would sleep on their feet, falling back on their back. I'm talking about the Democrat Party. Trump hit him with that jab, hit him with a flurry, then hit that uppercut. Oh my gosh, man. And it's a beautiful thing, man. It's a beautiful thing. The grifters is over. No more grifting, right? I tell you, man, the grift is over. The grift is over. Oh, man. You'll be a damn fool giving them some money when they can't change policy no more. I just love banging on them as I should. Ain't that a beautiful thing? Boy, I tell y'all, man, this is what winning is like. We got Stewart in the house. Hold on, Stewart. That's my member. Boy, we got Stewart in the house. One of my members, though, boy. What's up with you, Stewart? Man, I appreciate you coming on. Lucky One wants to give his money away. Let me see here. Slick Dick says Trump first. Boy, I tell y'all, man, good to have y'all on here, man. You know your boy can cook when he want to cook, though. You know, I'll be over here cooking him. Let him cook. You know what I'm saying? These socialist bastards, I'm talking about the Democrats, socialists, they are the worst. They worse than their actual liberals. And the liberals was just the P word, to even fight against these guys, man. They've been taking over. They party have been taking over. But don't you love it, Zach? You going down, man. Down goes Frazier. Uppercut. Zach, you can't do nothing about it. Y'all, you can't do nothing about it, boy, but lose again. Trump been kicking y'all behind well over 365 days of a year, boy. The champ in the heavyweight title of the world, that will be Donald J. Trump. Oh, my goodness. I love it, boy. Man, you should be up here talking ish about being a disabled vet. Look at all the things that Trump got the disabled vets back on. You wasn't even getting, they was denying you, man. And they treated you. You went over here and served in our country. They was slapping you upside the head. Who fixed that? That was Trump. Don't believe that propaganda they got out there talking about how Trump is against their man. That's a bunch of lies, man. I've been exposed that, man. You ain't got nothing, man. I dare you, though, Zach. Put something up of what Trump did. Put something up. Put something. I love veterans because I got friends that's in the military. They know the truth. What you talking about? Put it up. Put it up. Put it up. That's what I'm saying, Zach. Put it up. You know what I'm saying? Now, one thing about it, though, Zach, you know, I'm good with those tools, man. So, you know what I'm saying, though, Jack? Jack, I'm good with those tools so that you know, you're gonna need more than what you talk and what you're gonna be dealing with. And what's going on here, you see how this guy here, I'm going and screenshot this, though, too. So this is the dude right here, is Zach. This is how dangerous their party is. He's actually trying to inadvertently making a threat. Now, I'm going to tell you something, though, Zach. I'm just going to give you one warning, right? Don't let the don't let the smooth taste fool you, right? You don't know what my background is and what I'm truly about. But one thing about it, though, man, what's on the internet is posted forever, right? And what you're doing right now, I'm already on you, man. Look at him. Look at him. So this is a pussy right here because he has this type of hatred for people that speak the truth. Real men don't even sit up here. Where your wife at? Why you over here sitting up? You a retired vet. Don't you got other things to do than be over here trying to throw up idle threats and whatever? Boy, I tell you, man, this is sad. Boy, this is sad, boy. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, I get this crap before, man. You know, Yeah, that's what I say, man. We can't even, he hasn't proven anything. Anybody can lie and say that they're a veteran. He hasn't shown anything. We don't know who this guy, he hides behind an avatar. To post your address, man, you know what I'm saying? Oh my goodness, I ain't trying to unalive nobody. I really ain't. I'm not trying to do any of that type of stuff. But this is why I say I can't even take this dude seriously. We don't know who this guy is, man. This is an idiot. He just mad because I'm cooking his behind. That's what it is. You know? I cook, let him cook. Oh yeah, matter of fact, I'm gonna make him really mad now. You know how I do, y'all. Hold on for a minute. Y'all know what I'd like to do. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna go there. I'm gonna make this guy so angry.
Welcome to the All-Star Clown Review.
One moment.
Free balloons for all.
Let me turn it down a little bit because I know I had it up at the highest level, but we'll keep it right there. Oh yeah. Zach, I'm gonna make you famous, man. Just like I made a lot of people in my room chat before. I'm gonna make this guy famous. Zach, I make you famous. I make you famous, sir. I make you famous.
Welcome to the All-Star Clown
There we go.
Review.
Free balloons
There we
for
go.
all.
That's more like it.
Welcome to the All-Star
Oh
Clown
my goodness.
Review.
We got
Free balloons
Gavin
for all.
Knucklehead Newscom.
Welcome
We
to the
got
All-Star Clown
Maxine
Review.
Wicked West
Free
Waters,
balloons
man.
for
Look at
all.
her. The great grifter, too.
Welcome to the All-Star
Boy, that
Clown
offered
Review.
nobody
Free
in the
balloons
so-called
for
black
all.
community no hope, no prosperity,
Welcome to the
nothing.
All-Star Clown
No
Review.
prominence. Then is that Obama? Yeah, that sure is, boy. Playing the damn trumpet. You know
Welcome to the
Obama don't know how to
All-Star
play the
Clown
trumpet.
Review.
That is him, though. Look
Free
at him.
balloons for
Boy,
all.
I tell you, man.
Welcome to the
We
All-Star
got
Clown
Adam
Review.
Shifty Shift
Free balloons
over
for
here
all.
juggling. Watch he drop from the, okay, he dropped the ball here. You know you don't know how to juggle. And then, oh man, we got Hillary Clinton. There she is in the middle. They got a little, look at her, got a little hat on, got a little pantsuit on, looking like, Beetlejuice. And then look at it, we got Chuck Schumer, man, with the balloons or whatever. Look at that. The Democrat Fraud Show is what Jason Beatrice used to always say. Look at this. The Democrat Circus All-Star Clown Review. This is what it is, boy. Look at Hakeem the Dream Jeffries, boy. Or High Tax Jeffries. Look at him. Jumping around, looking like a court gesture. Boy, don't y'all just love that. And then we also, who is that holding that sign up talking about free balloons for all? Bernie Sanders, I want my free balloon, man. Stop playing with me, man. Stop playing. I want my free balloon, man. You gonna give me my free balloon. Give me my free balloon, man. Oh, yeah, look at that. That's AOC. What the hell is AOC doing? Oh, my goodness. I never knew she was that flexible doing these handstands, boy. At least when you get out of work, though, there's always the pole. You know what I'm saying? If you know what I mean, get on there and get on that pole, girl, Boy, and then we also have Polka Dot, Pocahontas, Elizabeth Warren. Look at her in her cap and gown. Yep. Oh, yeah, I got one with Kamala, too. Scamala, too, though. She's all in there. Look at that. Boy, I tell you, man. Clown music for a clown. Look at this, boy, I tell you. Look at this, y'all. Man, boy, where is my free balloon? You gonna give me my free balloon. You done stole everything else.
Welcome to the All-Star Clown Review.
Free balloons
Where's
for
my
all.
free balloon? Look at this. The
Welcome to the
Fraud
All-Star
Squad
Clown Review.
and many more of them.
Free balloons for all.
Look at this. Boy, Hakeem Jeffries, look at you, boy.
Welcome to the All-Star Clown Review.
That's more
Free
fitting.
balloons
He's
for
so
all.
upset that they lost all their
Welcome to
districts
the
in the
All-Star
South,
Clown
boy.
Review.
He's upset,
Free
boy. Ain't that
balloons for
something?
all.
He ain't jumping around like that no more. I'm going to do
Welcome to the
another one to
All-Star
have them all
Clown
crying,
Review.
man. All of
Free
them.
balloons
That's going to be
for
on my
all.
next one. They going to all be crying, man.
Welcome to the All-Star
All
Clown
upset.
Review.
They thought that they
Free
could get
balloons
Obama
for
out
all.
there to save Virginia, man. Oh,
Welcome
my
to the
goodness,
All-Star
man. Look at
Clown
this stuff,
Review.
man.
Free
Boy, look at
balloons for all.
Oh, my goodness, y'all.
Welcome to the
Y'all see
All-Star
this there
Clown Review.
buffoonery?
Free
Oh, my
balloons
goodness,
for
man.
all.
Boy, I tell
Welcome to
you,
the All-Star
Paul
Clown
says
Review.
Obama knew how to play the American people, though. He sure did.
Welcome to
He
the
played
All-Star
the
Clown
American
Review.
people just like he tried to play that horn, man. Look at this, boy. I tell you,
Welcome to
man.
the All-Star
Salty
Clown Review.
Alaskan says
Free balloons
the
for all.
Democrats are cooked
Welcome to the
and they know it. Yeah, you right about that, Salty Alaska. Man, shout out to you for coming back on here, man. Where's my horn at? I appreciate. I remember you before, man. Some of these names I never forget. Boy, look at this. This is pathetic. This is, now that they lost their districts and stuff, man, I tell you, man. Look at this. Hakeem the Dream. He the dream. He was the dream, Paul, to the Democrats, not to us. We got Jason Beatrice in the house, man. Shout out to Jason Beatrice. Boy, got Jason Beatrice in the house. I appreciate you, sir. I always do, man. I always appreciate you, as well as becoming a member. You've been a member now, but I appreciate you. Yep, the Democrat Fraud Squad. That's exactly what they are. Fraud Squad. It ain't frauding, lying, cheating. Right? Look at this stuff, boy. I tell you, man. Salty says Obama didn't play me. I didn't even pay attention to politics. He didn't play me either. I couldn't stand Obama, man, to be honest. I never voted for him, man. I never voted for him. Everybody was crying and going and getting all upset over this dude. Man, I tell you, man. But I'm going to get this guy, Steven said, he said that Trump effed up the gas and beef prices, man. I'm glad. I was waiting on somebody to talk about this. Here's the thing about it, Steven. I went over this already. It's the parasitical elite class. In fact, we can even break it down even lower, though. You got three major, Tyson, Cargill or whatever, and it's another one, right? It's three of these meat packing companies, right? Because these people, once again, are the food cartel. They dictated the prices because they also are part of the global parasitical elite class, right? I'm going to educate this guy real quick, right? So therefore, when they look for things or manipulate pricing and all that, these are the same people, just like with the oil and gas. I went over this earlier. I don't know if you are aware of this, Stephen, but the UAE is breaking away from OPEC. Right? And there's others that are breaking away. Saudi Arabia, these people are breaking away, and they're going to be able to sell their own oil, which is going to cause what? It's going to cause more competition, which means that the gas price is going to go down. We also have Canada, right? We have Venezuela, right? We have a lot of countries throughout the world, right, that people can get their oil from, which means it's going to drive it down, right? Boy, I tell you, man, I was waiting on him, but I was waiting on him. This is not true at all, man. Boy, I tell you, man, Stephen, you should be ashamed of yourself. See what happens when you have Trump derangement syndrome? No president caused pricing to go up because of a war, because when we had that situation or have that situation with Iran, there was a reason, like I said earlier, why he went in there in the first place, right? First of all, it was to stop the tyranny of Iranian people being murdered at these sickos that are in charge. Number two is to go after what? The Strait of Hormuz, right? To get that in order. Number three is that to stop the enrichment of a nuclear weapon, right? Let's get it straight, though, right? Boy, you can't handle me. Boy, I tell you, man. Steven, man, go ahead and you need to sit on down, boy. You need to sit on down, boy, but I skin you like I skinned that darn catfish, boy. I tell you. Man, you need to stop it, though, Steven. I was waiting on him. I already went over this stuff earlier, man. You know what I'm saying? No president can dictate the pricing of, people don't have that. Like I said before, parasitical elite class. And what do? They create these groups, which is nothing more than a cartel of oil, cartel of food, cartel of communications, cartel of education. Trump has been deregulating all this stuff, man. One time, education. Now we have school choices now. Children have the choice and the right to be able to pick the schools that they want now. And that's all because of Trump. Well, I tell you, man. Same thing with the health industry. We were once under some type of, cartel as well. JFK Jr., man, he's really doing his thing, breaking us, deregulating, right? causing the prescription of medication to go down now up to 80% or so. Man, I'll tell you, man, we have more with President Donald J. Trump than we ever had with big ear, lying, thieving Obama, murderers, and all the rest of them, man. It's an actual fact. It doesn't come no comparison with Biden, basement Obama, right? And you can go back with the rest of them, no matter with me who you pick. They don't hold a candle to Trump. I tell you, man. Beautiful thing, though. Beautiful thing. The Democrat fraud squad. Yeah, it's the Democrat fraud squad, man. Yep, and Mike even said, we got Mike in the house. Oh, yeah, I can't leave forget about Mike. Sorry, Mike. Yeah, Mike, I know you've been over here before. Democrats were completely silent through 4 years of Joe Biden. High gas prices, high grocery prices, up to 9% inflation. And I remember that. And all of a sudden now is something that must be dealt with, right? Just show you how the hypocrites they are. But you're 100% right, though, Mike. There's stuff, and that was all with basement Obama, Jill Biden, and all the rest of them, man. Boy, I tell you, that auto pen. Ooh, man. Right? Boy, they don't have nothing but salty Alaska. Let me see what you have to say here. Obama didn't pay me, but I didn't even pay attention. I remember you read that already. Okay. Let me see here. We got the Rooster in the house. Rooster 11 says, the Rooster from the future says 2030 Americans will adapt to Bitcoin standards, and the price will be at $700K. I'm going to post that anyway. If you coming from the future, though, man, that's what's up, though, man, Rooster, you know. Yep, you have to tell us some real good advice here and things, guys, because the crypto thing, man, yeah, because we are the largest crypto mining here in America, man. Same thing with AI, man. Data centers being built all over the place, man. Mike says, but referring to Biden shows what absolute hypocrites the left are. Yeah, exactly. They know damn well that his policies can't hold nothing to Trump at all. Nothing. Let me see here. Already cooked Steven already. Let me see here. Lady Red Hat? Is that red or rad hat? How's the brain damage treating you? Lady Red, boy, you the one that's delusional, lady. If you are a lady, I don't know who's a lady and who a man these days. But what do you mean by that, talking about? Because like I said, I have shared with many people Trump's policies, his deregulations, right? And you can't show me what Biden did. We already talked about him already. 9% inflation, high gas prices, high food prices. Talking about he had over 80 million voters. You know damn well that many people didn't vote for Joe Biden. It was that was a lie. They stole the election in 2020. And I can't wait till we get some accountability for that, because Trump have all the evidence. You think Trump gonna forget about that? He's not. He's not. Just like he gonna go after the PPP loans. I hope you, lady, I hope you ain't one of those PPP loan scammers. You look like you could be one. I hope you ain't on that list. You got bigger things to worry about, boy. I mean, girl. Let me see here. Jason Beecher says, LOL. Okay, and Paul says, I'm trying to catch up, y'all. So Paul says, Nick Shirley for president. Yeah, man, he almost got jammed up over there in Cuba, man. Nick Shirley be over there, man. This guy got more balls and kahunas than a lot of people over here, especially from the left. Boy, this guy ain't got no soy at all. Boy, he went over there. I'm just glad he made it out and stuff like that. Shout out to Nick Shirley, man. Yep. Oh, man, boy. Let me see here. Jason says Obama in some trouble. Yeah, he's in big trouble, man. He ain't looking too well. We can see it in his eyes. He in big trouble, man. Yep, he is in big trouble, man. Well, I tell you, man. Let me see here. Let me see here. Jason says, I wish I didn't vote for Obama. It's all good. You didn't know, though, Jason. You didn't know. I never voted for him. I never liked Obama. But that's okay, though, man. The world is seeing Obama for what he really is. I done cooked him on my channel so many times. Mike says, just left the Democrat chat where they were saying Trump should go to prison. That's all talk. Because I'm gonna tell you though, Mike, I'm not going to the DM forums. I rarely go into MAGA stuff. I usually deal with them, bang on them. You know what they do with me? They just block me, man. Because it's an echo chamber over there. When I hit them with real hard facts, they don't want their people to look into it though, Just like I said, Jason Santana Jones is a coward, right? And I tell him to his face he's a coward. Johnny, whatever that dude, the zesty boy, he's a coward, You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of them over there are cowards, man. They have echo chambers, man. They don't want no debate for real. They like it when they can control the narrative. That's why I won't debate those guys, because there's nothing to debate. You got to go on their channel and all this other stuff. You know what I'm saying, man? Please, man. It's just for aesthetics. And the people that hate Trump, they just love people like that. But they just hate Trump. That's all it is. But they can't tell you why they hate Trump. They just hate Trump. That's what stupid people do. Boy, I tell you, man, stupid people do that, right? Boy, it's the global. I like what you said, though, Jason Beatrice. The global shakeup is good. Exactly, man. Exactly. We are shaking them up, man. Shake and bake, man. Boy, I tell you. I tell you, let me see here. Mike says no president has gone to Congress since World War II. Let me see it. No president has gone. I didn't know that, no, man. I have to look into that. I did not know that. Paul says, I didn't buy the hope and dreams was selling. I didn't buy anything Obama was selling. I know that's right, Paul. I never did either. I never voted for that guy. I didn't vote at all. I didn't vote for those clowns, man, to be honest. Excuse me.
Welcome to the All-Star Clown
Mike
Review.
says Iran attacked Libya and never said a word to Congress. Yeah. Iran been attacking a lot of the Middle East. They were bullying all of them over there, though, man. And how did that happen? Because of Obama, right? All roads lead to Obama, right? And he's one of the main. Him and Hillary, they are the main reasons as to why they have uranium over there. Because other than that, where did it come from? Right? They got the evidence on that too. That's why I say, man, this guy gonna be locked up soon, man. It ain't nothing they can do about it. Obama attacked. Yeah, okay, I read that one. And never went to Congress. Yeah, because that's the thing about it. Didn't Obama's administration, where they set it up where they didn't have to deal with Congress anymore? This is stuff. We have a constitution. It was Obama. That's right. He was the one that did that. This is why Trump didn't have to deal with Congress. So what's good for the goose is good for the gander. So in other words, y'all didn't make it required that Obama had to go through Congress. That's why Trump did what he did. He didn't have to go to Congress. You should be mad at Obama. He was the one that did it first. He was the one that did it first. They were the one that did that.
Welcome to the All-Star Clown Review.
So you got to deal with that as it comes, right? Boy, I tell you. Let me see here. Black Guy 9 says Kamala's husband and Jill Biden are lovers. I didn't know that, I did not know that, boy. I'm not shocked. Coming from these people, Black Guy 9 from the left, man, nothing surprised me at this these days, I tell you. Mike says the 4 years silence with the Democrats and Joe Biden shows what hypocrites they really are, or what hypocrites they are right now. Yeah, exactly. Right? Exactly, boy. You're right about that. Jason Beatrice says barrels are under $100. Now, we need them to drop to $80 to $75. That's going to happen real soon, though. Because as I said, the OPEC cartel is being busted up. The UAE already left. Saudi Arabia, it's just a lot of these other countries over there. They're going to be doing their own thing. Prices, because right now it's going to flood the market with oil, and competition creates that, right? It's a beautiful thing, man. I tell you. Let me see here. Blessed. Wait, let me read this one person here. What is it? That lucky one says, "I'll never forget when Trump said you didn't need the COVID shot, and then got the COVID shot to save his life." Well, let me say something about this.
Welcome to the All-Star
I don't think that Trump actually took the COVID shot because he knew how dangerous the COVID shot was. But he was always talking about ivermectin, hydrochloroquine, and all these other ones, man. Zinc. These were things that you were able to take and do, right? This is what they were saying, right? Because I got some ivermectin at home, though, but taking that. But yeah, so, you know, I hate to say it, but people that took that virus, we already have a lot of side effects on that stuff, man, and I didn't touch it. No. Blues 525 says, you've stopped none of these things. What are you talking about? You stopped none. Texas Jane in the house, boy. Texas Jane. Yep, shout out to you. Texas Jane in the house, boy. Oh, yeah, you know I got it. Hold on, Texas Jane. I know I'm slipping now. Yeah, that's more like it. Sorry about that. Yeah, that's for Texas Jane, though. Not for the guys, but for Texas Jane. You know what I'm saying? Boy, I tell you, man. But, yep. But that's exactly what it is, though, man. Man. We said, Mom, come look. I'm saving democracy on YouTube. It's not a democracy. What's this, Fidel? I'm an infidel? Yeah, I'm an infidel. Hey, I'm an infidel. This is not a democracy. This is a constitutional republic, sir. Never forget that again, right? We ain't under my rules no more, sir. Or ma'am. Man, don't you just love it, boy? I tell you. Mike says the American people was lied to about COVID shots. They were by doctors in charge. That's why Anthony Fauci's second in command has been arrested, right? And been indicted or to be arrested or whatever the case may be. But they going down like, you know what I'm saying? Steve Urkel used to say, boy, you going, Lord, they going down. They going down, boy, I tell you. Black Guy 9 says, remember when Obama didn't believe in gay marriage and then passed the gay marriage in America? Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I remember that. He did more for the LGBTQ community than he ever did for the black community. Facts, because to be a politician in politics means that you could just promise things or just aesthetically look good and black folks will vote for you. And that's what happened. They don't get nothing in return, right? I know there's bots in this room. I don't mind it. Addresses. I don't even address them very much. Boy, I tell you, man. Mr. Steven says, there is a parasite class at the top of your billionaire. Isn't a part of... No, he's not. How can Trump be a part of the parasitical elite class when they've been trying to take him out? You know yourself, though, Steven. This is just logic, right? Use your thinking now. Obama is part of the parasitical elite class, and there was no shots on his life. In fact, he had better security, right? What about Joe Biden, right? What about any of them, right? How you gonna go out? It don't make no sense. You protect those clowns. You go after people that don't get the protection. Remember, Trump is always have been what? Outside establishment from day one. That's why they tried to stop him. They cheated in the election. They were trying to what? Get him out of Russia thing, right? They got all the evidence on that. All that's at the grand jury. You ever heard, Tulsi Gabbard been talking about it, right? It's just not making sense, Steven. You can't sell that. You trying to thread it, but it's not working. Parasitical elite don't go after their own. Unless if they go against the reservation, right? That's an absolutely fact, right? Look what happened with JFK Senior, right? Bobby, right? Come on now. You don't go after people that's part of the parasitical elite class unless if you deviate from the reservation, man. Come on now. Put your thinking cap on. Stay with me now, McFly. Come on now. You know what I'm saying? You know that don't make no sense. Texas Jay says that luck, that's not what he said, dork. Yep. He said it's our choice. Yeah, I think Texas Jane addressing somebody in the room. I like it. Black Guy 9 says, first black president stood for gay marriage in America. He's a demon. Plain and simple. Talking about Obama.
Welcome to the
Come on
All-Star
now.
Clown Review.
Jason Beatrice says, Black. I remember
Welcome to the
when
All-Star
all
Clown
of the
Review.
politicians
Free
flipped
balloons for
flop
all.
like Obama did. Yeah. He was put in there purposely, though. Purposely. Because if the whites went after him, they could scry and say, oh, it's racism. You know what I'm saying? They did all that. And now look at him, man. Obama is in the process of being in those silver bracelets. He got much more to worry about, though, too. It could be military tribunal, whatever it could be, though. You know what that means. You know what I'm saying? Boy, I tell you. Let me see here. The lucky one says Obama also passed the American Care Act that Republicans haven't replaced yet.
Free balloons for all.
Here's the thing, though. Trump has the Trump Medicare thing, right? Which is Trump RX. I know I did a live stream on that, though. The American Care Act. I know they're supposed to be still working on some stuff, but which is still Obamacare. I still call it Obamacare. It was the worst thing ever. Because if you couldn't afford it, you would they charged me $400 a year for not being on it. There was mandates. They said that you couldn't have choice with Medicare. You had to go through Obamacare. And through the back door, Obama was enriching himself up to $250 a year. You know, which explains another reason how he got all this money. Paul says the free balloons are from Hillary losing presidential run, courtesy of the lack of a concession speech. That makes a lot of sense. I still want my balloon, though, you know. I ain't gonna post that up. Boy, I tell you, man, it's a beautiful thing, boy. Jason Beatrice says Black. He was demonic. Yeah, a lot of them are demonic, man. There's a lot of demonic people, boy. Black Guy 9 says never liked Obama. I'm right with you, there, Black Guy 9. I never liked Obama. I don't know what people see in him other than a smooth, just a pretty speech, and just smooth and silk, or it's a snake oil salesman. Boy, I tell you, man. Jason Beatrice says Democrats are peasants with peasant mindsets. Yeah, you're absolutely right about that. You gotta be a peasant mind to be able to deal with this type of stuff. Undeveloped mind, to be more exact. Boy, I'm going to post that because it's so true. Boy, I tell you, man, look at this stuff. Mike says Obama said we could pick our own plans. Oops. We couldn't. We could pick our own doctors. Oops. The price would be cheaper. Oops. You right about that, though, Mike. I had to get into my you know what I'm saying, my emotional response with that, because it really is, though, man. My sound effects too. You know, he said all this in order to sell the bill. What the Dems have always done, once again, come up with policies, and when you vote for them, then they change everything, and then they blame it on other people, boy. But like I said, boy, it's over. It is over. The lucky one says Obama was great. Oh, no, he never was great. That's why Trump keep trying to beat his achievement. Ain't trying, he's been beat Obama's achievements. Obama don't have, he has achievements, right, for the globalist parasitical elite class. That's who he has his achievements from. You know what I'm saying? So it was against the American people. A lot of his policies was against the American people, not for American people. Because I'm going to challenge you on this, the lucky one. If that would be the case for what you just said, you should be able to cite his policies and how it worked for the American people. So go ahead and put it up there. I want you to post these great accomplishments that Obama has already have done for the American people. He was the one that changed the Smith-Mundt Act. This is why we got a lot of propaganda in our news media. That was also orchestrated by, we already know, Obama, right? Barack Obama. Boy, I tell you, come on now. You should be able to put up his policies. Don't just come on in and just say that, you know? You got to put his stuff up. And that's for anybody else. If Obama was so great, put his policies up, and you should be able to tell me what Obama has done, because Obamacare is not something of, you know what I'm saying, of an accomplishment. It was a mandate that was put on to people, whether you could afford it or not. People that could not afford it, you were charged $400 a year, and it went on your taxes. That's a fact. It was so bad with Obamacare, that's why they changed it to Affordable Care Act, because people hated the word Obama and they didn't like that policy. But all they did is just do a name change. The policy still exists. It's the same damn policy. Plus, Obama got what, a kickback off of that for $250, right? That's exactly, $250 million, right into his pocket. That's the whole thing about it. But like I said, the lucky one, you're not just saying, you're not even putting up what was so great with Obama. And maybe I should do that on the next live stream. Just like they want to say, why you voted for Trump? Why you voted for Obama? That's the question right now. That's what we should be asking. Why did you vote for Obama? Right? That's what I would like to know. Why did you vote for Kamala? Why do you vote for her too? Mike says taxes were raised to cover Obama care because it was too expensive. Exactly. It had to go up. People couldn't afford it. So what did they do? Raise the taxes again, right? This is exactly what it is. Thank you, Mike. This is exactly what ended up happening. But I just want this, I just want, what's his name again? That lucky one. Go ahead, that lucky one, man. I want you to pull up Obama stuff. Why did you vote for Obama, right? Black Guy 9 says Obama couldn't hold a Trump underwear. He really couldn't. He really couldn't. He can't. I don't see anybody in here talking about, you know what I'm saying? Let me see if Steven says, Biden did the IRS American Rescue Plan, biggest infrastructure bill, blah, 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 blah. You also understand that Joe Biden hired 87,000 IRS agents, right? Because you got to keep in mind, Joe Biden was also a sock puppet to the parasitical elite class, right? Taxes went up. Inflation went up. You don't talk about that. It went up as high as 9%. Come on now. You can't thread that, Stephen, and make that make sense. He shut down the Keystone pipeline. The biggest thing, and we're going to say it again because I had it recite it off earlier. Hold on for a minute. Because of Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, right? When they started allowing these illegals to come in here, rent went up by 30%. Come on now. What else? Home prices, right? The home prices, dropped, right? $1 trillion in education or educational costs, right? To save, right? This is the things that happen. $70 billion in welfare, right? Look at what happened. Right? I'm sorry, I said it backwards. We can say it right. With the illegals being deported, right? We're talking about rent has dropped by 30%, right? We're talking about home prices dropped. $1 trillion in education costs dropped. $70 billion in welfare saved. Health insurance would also drop, right? And gas is soon to be expecting to drop because of the deportation of these illegals that have been over here, right? This was Biden's legacy. We are not going to, it really is. It's Joe Biden's and Kamala Harris' legacy, right? This is, once again, who made that possible? Donald J. Trump. And I should ask the question. I think I'm going to do the next one, y'all. Why did they vote for Obama and Kamala Harris? That's what I would like to know. I would like to know that. And I maybe should better put a question up there next time, right? Boy, I tell you, man. All right, let me see here. Mike says Democrats were embarrassed by Nick Shirley. So of course, they're going to be calling him names. Oh yeah, they always calling Nick. Yeah, the people on the left, man, they're very short of a 6-pack, let alone a 12-pack, man. It is what it is. This is a guy that's doing real journalism. Got to keep in mind because Obama, Smith-Mundt Act, they over here been doing propaganda. Nick Shirley is a real journalist, man, and he has a future, and he's good at it. It took balls to go over there in over there in Cuba to do what he's doing. Man, shit. You know what I'm saying? Man, I was worried about that guy's safety, right? But it's so true, you know. Let me see and post that up here as well, too. Black Guy 9 says, let me see here, Democrats worry more about Trump, not the Somalia fraud crime criminals in Minnesota. You're absolutely right. They won't touch it. They won't touch it. Even the news media don't talk about it. That lets you know something shady about that. We know what it is because they're, well, what? They're installed to report what? Propaganda, right? That's exactly what it is. They believe this narrative that Trump wants to be this great dictator and Hitler and all this other kind of crazy stuff. They don't even know, man. It's just, I'm just over here laughing, man, because it's like dealing with a child. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Look at this. Nick Shirley. Let me see here. I want before that. Paul says, hold on for a minute. I'm missing that. Hold on for a minute. Mike says, Democrats in charge. Did I read that already? Oh, yeah. Democrats in charge, right, in Minnesota made sure the big shot who stole the big part of money, right, got Boule and was able to keep his passport. Now he's vanished went out here, vanished out of the country. Okay, Minnesota. So which one vanished out of the country though, Mike? I know it ain't Ilhan Umar, man. Not the other guy, Omar Fatah, when I was running for mayor of Minnesota. Remember that dude looking like E.T. phone home? E.T. phone home, you know? Oh, my goodness. Paul says Charlie Kirk could have been president. Oh, they knew it. That's why they were threatened. The people on the far left, these are the socialists, the Democrat socialists, man. They would stop at nothing. They were so threatened, man, by Nick. I'm sorry, by Kirk, Charlie Kirk. They were so threatened by him, man. The Slick Nick says Nick Shirley, a great American and a man on a mission. He got that right. Yeah, he got a bright future ahead of him. He's young too. He real young. Texas Jane says that luck is stuck. We said that luck expect hundreds of libtards arrested for fraud. Yeah, you right about that, Texas Jane. They are going down just like that PP loan scam thing that they were doing. Mike says you can put down Nick Shirley at all. Let me see here, but you can't defend what he's talking about. Just makes you ignorant. Yep, exactly. It really does, though. Yeah, Jason Beatrice says, LOL, look at the lucky protecting fraud. I know, right? It's so sad. They just been wanting to protect. Can't do it. Can't do a Democrat fraud squad. That's exactly what they are, man. Democrat fraud squad. Black Guy 9 says, Minnesota is a criminal organization for illegal immigrants. Yep, exactly. Texas Jade says, Jason, hey. All right, Mike says, Democrats will make sure any of the crooks who could testify against them amazing leave the country. Yep, exactly.
Welcome to the All-Star Clown Review.
Yes, Salty Alaskan says Obama is the auto pen, right? Him and Gio and a few others, I do believe. There was people that's messing with that auto pen.
Welcome to the All-Star
Boy,
Clown
I tell
Review.
you, the lucky one says no one has been arrested or charged for the so-called Minnesota fraud. No, not yet. Not yet. But they do have the evidence, though. You know, it's closing in on them. How Trump works, Trump just don't jump out. He's a builder. He builds up the expense. He wants them to suffer because with the indictments mean you got to show up in court, you got to pay money. Remember, they did Trump the same way. He had to show up in court. Sons had to show up in court. Fight this, fight that, fight this, fight that. Same thing happened in them. They got to show up in court, show up in court, show up in court. Indictments. Got to show up in court. Same thing with James Comey. Got to show up in court. This time, he's doing this. He's doing to them what they did to Trump, as he should. As he should, right? Boy, I love it. Trump, boy. Now that they are in the hot seat, they got to show up, right? Oh my goodness. Black Guy 9 says, but the libtards has TDS. They sure do. Mike says in Minnesota, the Democrats blame the messenger. What a surprise, right? Oh my goodness. Ain't that something? Jason Beatrice says, that lucky dumb wants to conduct his fraud in peace. Oh man, I tell you, boy, ain't that something? Texas Jane says, salty, exactly. I know, right? Boy, you're right, boy. Y'all all making some points and senses, right? The lucky one says, you can't protect fraud if no one has been arrested. We keep saying, though, the lucky one, not yet. It's being built up. He's making them suffer, right? Because they the ones that got to show up in court. They the ones that constantly, that they did Trump the same way. They were trying to break him psychologically, financially wise. We know that some of these people are already breaking. Look at Ilhan Umar. She's already breaking. She ain't used to being in court like this, answering questions and stuff like this. You know, boy, I tell you. Mike says, that's happened in all the left chats. As soon as you start asking them to prove a statement, they block you. Yeah, that's what they do. Santana Jones, Johnny and them, they do the same thing, man. It's an echo chamber, though, Mike, and things. And I've been on their channels. I just go on there to troll them, too, man. I just love doing it. You know what I'm saying? Because he got a bigger platform, a bigger audience than me, though. When you start, like you said, asking the real questions, here they go, you know. They block. We know it's very rare that I block in here, right? I was going to block that one dude, what's his name or whatever, Zach. Yeah, next time he come up in here, just block him, right? That's what I meant to do. Mike says, in the left chats, their followers make ridiculous statements. And when you call them out, they feel you don't debate. You need to call the host. They're all a joke. Exactly. And the reason why they want you to call the host, because they can mute you, they can control the forum. It's all phony, fake mirrors. You know, Santana Jones don't want this, he don't want this smoke for real, not on my channel though, you know. Santana Jones, go run and tell it, but he don't want this smoke. I call these phonies out for what they really are. And I got my own fact checker too. That's why I told you guys, if you can afford it, invest in Right Pen. This is the tool that I use. It's a fact check, and what it's designed to do is for conservatives, right? Well, we can get the real truth out instead of this biased liberal stuff. Yeah, that's why a lot of the AIs I really don't like, because they're more biased and more slant, like ChatGPT, which I don't use at all. I don't use those, man, at all, because those are more biased, liberal, and so forth, right? Texas Jane says, I didn't either, right? Mike says, oh, you call someone stupid? You're a genius. Oh, yeah, Paul says, so fake news on Trump getting the COVID shot. I know, right? Yeah, Trump didn't ever get no COVID shot. He took the ivermectin. You know what I'm saying? These are the things that he took. He knew better. He didn't want to take. I think that was just more for the aesthetics of it all, right? You know what I'm saying? That was more the aesthetics, but he didn't take that shot. He know better. Just like I never took that stupid shot. Black Guy 9 says Democrats are stupid. Yeah, they're stupid, ignorant. They're just knuckle draggers, man. Knuckle draggers that like to be told. Like pretty much like how the black community, and things like that. Boy, I tell you. Let me see here. Texas Jane says, Tony, hey brother. Hey Texas Jane, I saw you. I think I said something to you earlier. Let me do it again though. Hold on for a minute. Texas Jane. Yep, I want to do that again. You know, you get the special, that mystical charm thing or whatever. You know what I'm saying though. Appreciate you guys. Cool Cat 3032 said, should Kash Patel be fired? He has no experience. He's always hiding from the camera from the interviews. That's not true at all though, Cool Cat. Look at what Kash Patel been doing. He actually changed the FBI around. They're out fighting real crime, right? Look at what he has done, right? He even said it. He's gotten rid of all of the plants, most of them, majority of them, right, that were paid for by the left, by the parasitical elite class, what they were doing, right? He got the moles, most of them out of there, right? He's been setting up, right? Going after, right? Look at what he's been doing. He has a wonderful record of changing the FBI around where it's being respected again, man. And to sit up here and say that because, what is it? Because Cash Patel, right, wasn't doing anything. I don't know where you've been at, man. It's not true. Cash Patel been doing a whole lot, right? It may not be at what you expect for it to be, but behind the scenes, they're going out. You seeing more indictments and stuff now and everything like that. So yeah, Cash Patel, man, I'm all for it, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm all for it. Look at what he's doing, man. He's doing the thing. Yep, there's more coming out. I ain't got no problem with him. Let's see here. Dominic says, I took the vaccine as I served with most military members who who are serving and are perfectly fine, right? Well, here's the thing, though. Everybody's body is different. Damage. Everybody's body is different. But if you were to look at the dangerous side effects of taking it, it's just a matter of time. I'm not trying to make you feel bad, but we got to tell the truth around here. Because don't you find it strange? The military people, they put a mandate on them that they had to take the vaccine. This is totally unconstitutional. And when somebody is forcing something on you, it can't be a good thing. If it was a good thing, then they would better stand on their own merit and say, hey, this is it, Johnson & Johnson and a few other ones. If they had it going on like that, then why would you have to create a mandate, right? When a mandate never trumps, pardon the pun, right? It never trumps the Constitution. That's the thing about it. The vaccine should have been by choice, right? But there was other alternatives that people could take. Well, you don't even have to take the vaccine. And ivermectin is one of them, right? Hydrochloroquine was another one. Taking that with zinc and other things. This is what Trump was trying to tell the American people. But what did they do? When the parasitical elite class, they still unfortunately control the media. But things are getting better because we have X, we have Truth Social, right? And at the time, we didn't have these things, though. It was hard getting that information out. Remember, Trump was actually deplatformed as well. A president of the United States being kicked off of a Twitter app, man. Oh, my goodness. So, yeah, so that's basically what it is there, though, man. You got to wake up and open up. Someone saying, well, didn't nothing happen to me. You could be one of the lucky ones. But I know people that have blood clots and all kind of stuff going on. Boy, I tell you, Salty Alaskan says, they figured out that the COVID shot was responsible for 75 of the COVID deaths, right? And they are questioning them in court as we speak. And Salty Alaskan is absolutely right, which I was also going to mention. So this is back to you though, Damage, right? This is the thing about it though, man. If this was so on the up and up, and then what about Anthony Fauci's second in command? Didn't he get arrested? He got taken down by who? Under Cash Patel and them, brought his behind in, right? Look at this. Jason Beatrice says, hey, Texas Jane, we got the Democrat for All squad in the chat. I know that's right, boy. They are full in effect. I tell you, man. Free balloons for all. Yep, we'll go ahead and pause that for a little bit. The point with you, okay, Mike says, the point with you, COVID shots, they were unnecessary for most Americans. They sure were, but we know what Bill Gates and them was just pushing this event, what's that, 201 and all this other kind of nonsense. He said this a long time ago. I refuse the boosters. My man, Jason says, I refuse. I ain't getting none of it. You ain't, we some pure bloods around here. There's still a lot of pure bloods. And I say this because we never took the jab, right? Boy, I tell you, that lucky one said fraud can't exist if it hasn't been proven, like Trump and Epstein. Well, what you mean it hasn't been proven? We ain't saying it's been proven. They got evidence on this stuff. You do realize that the Trump Epstein, I said this earlier, It's still being brought. All that information, all the real evidence, not the one out here. The real stuff is sitting with the grand jury. They looking over everything. It is. This is not even redacted. They got the real thing. It's us that don't have the real stuff. That's the thing about it, the lucky one, right? Because it has to go through a court of law. Right? But what are the Dems out here doing? Trump, Epstein files, pedo. They already are making accusations, and it hasn't even finished going through court yet. The grand jury have all the information. You know what I'm saying? For you to sit up here and say this, I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's like, it's still a process. Remember, America is about the courts. Instead of throwing accusations, I mean, why? That's why we have a constitution. We have rights, Fourth Amendment, Sixth Amendment. We have these rights, right? Man, I tell you, Jason, I saw that idiot. Yeah. Jason says, the VA military hospital really pressured us to get vaccine. Yeah, I know, Dan. They really pressured y'all, man. They pressured just like they pressured people to go back to work. You had to have the vaccine. It's unconstitutional to push a vaccine onto the people. That's why they got sued. I mean, they had to pull it off because it was infringing on the people. You can't infringe on people's rights and push a mandate. Oh, but Biden done that. Mike says Obama even killed his U.S. citizen with a drone overseas. And the Democrats looked the other way. Oh, yeah, the one killed the U.S. citizen with a drone. All right. I'm going to have to look into that, though, too, Mike, but I appreciate you for bringing it up. Jason Beatrice says, Texas, LOL, LOL, LOL. All right. Immortal says, I refuse the booster, too. He says here, wasn't Operation Warp Speed a Trump order, right? Oh, yeah, you say you refuse the booster, too? Yep. I you know what I'm saying? Oh, man. I would say this, though. I would never take it. Jason Beecher says Democrats support fraud. Yep. Put that up there, too. I can never get tired of hearing that. Paul says that COVID shot wasn't FDA approved. Neither of them was. Look at that Johnson & Johnson. They just pushed that right on through. Look at the complications. Who was that one baseball player that was a legend? Didn't he take it and come to his demise? It was a few others. Right, man? I tell you, man. That lucky one says COVID shots, the COVID shots was a Trump order. No, it wasn't no Trump order. He didn't order it. See, this is another misnomer. Trump didn't order the COVID. It was Biden. Joe Biden ordered the COVID shots, right? Trump left it up to choice if you were going to take it or not. He didn't order nothing. Biden had to create a mandate. Don't forget this, man. I can't allow you to come in here, the lucky one, and tell this type of you over here trying to force an agenda that's not going to work, man. Texas Jane says, I got COVID once and I took ivermectin. Good girl. That was prescribed by the ER doctor and never got it again because it works. It works, shit. Even, what's his name said it, with the horse grade, which is human grade, the one you can get at the Tractor Supply Center. Me and Joe Mama used to talk about this in the early days, man. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But what's his name? Joe Rogan, and he takes it, you know? I think he takes the horse version of it. Black Guy 9 says, Big Mike took the shot in his face. Oh my goodness, boy. I tell you, man. Woo, Big Mike. Sorry to hear it. Mike says Trump was following the government doctor's advice, and we all know who that doctor is. We sure do. Starts with an A, right? And ends with an F. Yep. Boy, I tell you, man. They got it second in command. I do know that much. Salty Alaskan says there's only two types of rich billionaires and multi-millionaires, the evil ones and the good ones. So if all the evil ones are attacking one man who is a president, he's probably not an evil one. Idiots. make a great point, salty Alaskan, man. Wow, that makes it, yeah, you make a, yeah. It just don't fit the narrative because he should be, if Trump was part of the global parasitical elite class, he should be protected, just like the rest of them. They know, see, with reasoning, logic, and common sense, they can't deal with this stuff, man. They can't deal with it because we already know Santana Jones and them, they will shut you down over there. You got to call. You got to call the 1-800 number. Call and prove me wrong, man. Anybody can sit up there and do that. You know what I'm saying? That don't make you no great debater. That make you a coward. Yeah, Texas Jane says, I didn't vax or mask. Yeah, because once you got ivermectin, I got some right now. Right? I got it right over here, but I do have it. Mm-hmm. Yep. Ivermectin. Boy, I tell you. Black Guy 9 says Obama want to be in prison with the other men. Yeah. If prison, if they even give him prison, they may give him something else, if you know what I mean. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. The lucky one says, I called Operation Warp Speed, and it was a president order to distribute COVID shots in America, right? Well, he said Operation was president order. Yeah, I mean, like I said before, man, it was all by choice. Yep, all by choice with regards to that. But he didn't force a mandate like Joe Biden did. Osby Crosby says Obama would love prison. Yeah, he probably would, if you know what I mean. We got Lou Hawkart in the house, boy. I knew Lou was going to show up, boy. Lou shows up, boy. Yeah, Lou, you got to admit, you do like my channel, though, boy. You know. Boy, I tell you, man. I knew Lou was going. Lou would never let me down, ladies and gentlemen. Boy, that's a brother right there, too. That's a brother. Mm-hmm. Mike says the real shame was forcing the military, was it unnecessarily, to get those shots or be forced out of the military. I remember that too. Same with the other government and the state-run entities, right? Yeah. You are right about that, man. You are right about that, man. I remember that. Texas Jane says, Black Guy 9, smiley faces and laughter, 100%. You are 100%, both of y'all, man. I tell you, all of you. Black Guy 9 says, call back Lou. Yep. Boy, I tell you, yeah, Lou, Lou like he liked the channel. He like coming over here. You know what I'm saying? And I know undercover he like Trump, but he's not allowed to say it because he felt like he'd be turning his back on the black community. But Lou, you can let your hair down over here, man. You know, you keep coming over here, Lou. You're going to be one of us, man. You sure are. Mike says, count up all the professionals, including doctors and nurses, who lost their positions for refusing the, what's that? Let me get my glasses on, man. For some reason, got a little blurry here. Okay. What's that? Incollination. Innocollination. I mean, hold on for a minute now. I gotta, when I get another new word here, when I get a new word, hold on for a minute. Let me go ahead and copy that text. Boy, I always love learning a new word, boy. I get excited about it. Hold on for a minute, y'all. I get excited about that. Hold on for a minute. Right. Give me one moment, boy. Let me see here. Boy, I just love, hold on for a minute. Hold on for one moment, man. Don't spell it out for me. Hold on. I always get excited when I get a new word. I feel like Count Dracula. What's that one on Sesame Street? Get a new word, don't he go crazy over it? Hold on for a minute, because I'll be liking to know, Hold on for a minute. There we go. All right, let's do that here. Hold on for a minute. Say it for me.
Inoculation.
Inoculation. Okay, there we go. Inoculation, boy. I have heard of inoculation before, actually. Just looked a little different. But, let me see here. Inoculation, right? There we go. Let me see here. Texas Grand Jane says, like and subscribe. Yeah, please do so, ladies and gentlemen. Please like and subscribe. This is your boy. I'm your brother. Whoops. Hold on for a minute. That's a rain siren. That's for something else, though, Well, that's when we, you know what I'm saying? I got that, boy. I got all kind of sound effects.
Thank you for the likes.
Yeah.
Please like, comment, and subscribe, please.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Sweet Pea, thank you so much for reminding them. Let me see here. Right. Let me make sure I didn't miss anything. Okay. Jason Beatrice says, I used to be a Democrat that campaigned for the governor of, what's that? Said governor of Massachusetts, Duval Patrick. I didn't know that. Okay. Man, you guys are all surprising me, man. Campaign for him and stuff. Okay. Yep. But I understand, though, you know, we didn't know, a lot of us didn't know no better, right? Ozzy says, don't think of 1 second that our own government won't try forcing masses vaccine. Ozzy, you know, wait a moment now. We got a constitutional president, which is Trump, right? That give us choices, right? Instead of just, you know, we got choices here, you know? Dems corrupt. Yeah, so that's the thing about it. But I know what you mean, though, you know? Mm-hmm. Yeah, don't think. Yeah, because I know what you're saying, Ozzy. I'm just teasing you. But you're right, though. Don't think that our government won't. I mean, you know, because in the past, now with Trump is different. But in the past, Joe Biden, Obama, whoever it would be, boy, they would try to force that on us, man. They really would. PG Lover. Boy, the way he just showed back up. Hold on, before I go any further. Hold on for a minute. Oh, man, I got some return people. Jason Beatrice, LOL. Texas Jane says, Obamacare made middle class not to be able to afford health care. It's so true. You got Shannon Anderson. Shut up, black mouth. Shut your black mouth up, dummy. Oh, man. Oh, man, boy. Come over here, Shannon, and get kissed in the mouth 2 times, right? I don't want to say that because I don't know what she look like. Boy, she's upset, too. Look at her crashing out already. Don't know me from a can of paint. You mean to tell me that I got that much of influence on you to make you all upset? You dummy! What is this, 3rd grade? PG Lover says Obama was the greatest president ever. Hey, y'all, I'm going to have to challenge. Let's challenge PG Lover on this one. PG Lover, tell me why Obama is the greatest president ever. Please tell me. Educate me. And I'm being serious, though, too. I'm going to put this up there for what he said. Y'all, he said this right here. He said, once again, Obama was the greatest president ever. So, PG Lover, I want you to educate the room in here why you think that Obama is the greatest president ever. Right? PG Lover says, if you hate Obama, you hate God. What the what? If I hate Obama, so you want to put Obama up there like God-like for all the dirt that he did? Are you serious? Oh, my goodness. Oh, man. Where my other sound? Oh, no, he didn't. Oh, no, he didn't.
Oh, hell no.
Oh, hell no. PG Lover. He said, if you hate Obama, you hate God. Oh, my goodness. So what you said that Obama is a godly man? Oh, my goodness. Big, said Black Guy 9 says, Big Mike has nuts. Yeah, he has more than just nuts, too. That's for sure. PG Lover says, MAGA is racist. But PG Lover, I asked you a question. You made a statement. You said that Obama was the greatest president ever. And I asked you a question. How so? Educate us. I know with Dems, they don't like, once again, they just speak out of emotions. They don't really know how to defend anything. Right? Texas Jane says, I just didn't have medical insurance under Obama. I didn't need it, Texas Jane. I couldn't afford it. So guess what? We were being penalized $400 a year. Is that a winner for the American people? It's not. He was enriching himself too, Obama, right? That lucky one says Obama did the ACA Iran deal and tax breaks for middle class. Trump broke up these deals, and now we have high prices. Broke up these deals. See, this is the thing. This is the problem about propaganda, ladies and gentlemen. He said about the Iran deal. The Iran deal, do you realize that Obama weaponized and created these terrorists? Most of your state-funded terrorists was being ran by Obama. You know, keep it real now. What you talking about, man? You saying the Iran deal? What, he gave him a lot of money just to say, oh, don't attack us, America. That was the bull, right? He gave them money to what? To run Iran and let that particular country, run roughshod over who? All these other countries around over there in the Middle East, and to be a threat to America. He was much involved in this. What you talking about? His deal? His deal wasn't for America. Remember, Obama hates America. He's a Muslim then, and he's a Muslim now, right? Boy, I tell you, what you mean Trump broke up the deals? No, Trump has deregulated the deals to take the power from the terrorists, right? Is what he did. He destroyed and got rid of the Ayatollahs and all the rest of them. The IRGC and all and so forth, or GS. He got rid of these people, man. These people were a threat to the world besides America, right? That's what Trump did. You are listening to too much of CNN, MSN, or MS Now, and all the rest of them. Boy, I tell you, it is absolutely not true for what you said, the lucky one. Not at all. Not at all. You can't even name me a policy for real, that enriched and helped the American people. You can't do it because there isn't any. Cheryl Schultz. I remember Cheryl. Hold on for a minute. Cheryl. Boy, welcome back, Cheryl. Welcome back, boy. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Oh, yeah, that's what's up, boy. You don't know nothing about that one, though. Welcome back, Cartel. Right? Immoral says, you actually think the fraud between Trump and Obama is a real issue. The fraud is coming from Obama, right? He hated this country, right? He set up a spy campaign thing to take away the censorship and the rights of the American people, right? Went over there and actually defunded our military, right? As well as a lot of other things. Look at Afghanistan, man. I already talked about this already. They didn't get the adequate protection with those, 4 U.S. Citizens that were murdered out over there. This all happened under Obama. Had that would have happened to Trump, we already know what would have happened. Come on now. I ask you or any of you that's rah-rahing for Obama to go ahead and put it up in the chat. I would like to see all of Obama's policies. My next one is going to be, why did you vote for Obama? I think that's the one we're going to do it. We're going to do that one, man. We're going to do that. Yep. Paul says Kamala was disappointed to face Trump. She got 0 votes, 0 votes in her primary because, hold on, that went away. Hold on for a minute. Okay, wait a moment. Why did that go away? I was reading. Oh yeah, there it is. Okay, Kamala was disappointed to face Trump. She got a 0 vote in her primaries because there was one. Okay, there wasn't one. This is the democracy, and Democrats preach about. Yep. Disenfranchise their group. She was already appointed by Biden anyway. Biden said he was going to pick a black woman in there. This is DEI right there, you ladies and gentlemen. She didn't get in there on her merit. She never even won her primary. What's the name? Tulsi Gabbard cooked her back in 2019. Let's keep it real, right? Boy, I tell you. Logic and reason says this dude hasn't had ussy since the 90s. How would you know that, though, Logic? You been in my bedroom? Are you one of those undercover brothers that get off watching other men perform or whatever? Are you one of those type of guys? Right? Sound like a personal problem to me. Sound like a freak. Boy, I tell you. Black Guy 9 says Big Mike has a mustache and a lot of other things too. Jason Beecher says Obama paid Iranians to behave, right? Which is true. He financed the terrorists. Unfortunately, Iran regime believes in what's that one? Okay, hold on for a minute. I got to get another word here. I can't. Some of these Arab names, boy. The Tajar or whatever. The Tajar. Okay, I'll just say go with that. Fuck it. Black Guy 9 says, Texas Jane says, Black Guy 9 laughing, whatever. Okay. Bradley White says, Trump would never be the man that Obama. But y'all keep saying that, man. You guys keep saying that, Bradley, but look at you. You getting sensitive. Look at you, sensitive. Look at you. Look at you, man. If this would have been Santana Jones, you would have got blocked. You would have got blocked from that. I don't even block you because I'm not running, right? Bradley, you never said what you just said, that he's just a great man, Trump. What did Obama do that was so great? And that's going to be the topic on the next live stream. What did Obama do, Bradley? Asking a question. Don't run from it. Make you famous. Cheryl says, remember when Joe Biden said, I'll do whatever you want, Nancy, and they cut the feed at the White House. I know, right? Don't sound like a president to me. Sound like a president that has dementia. I'll do whatever you say, Nancy. I'm going to go ahead and post that, too. I'll do whatever you say, Nancy. No strength at all. You got Obama bowing to the Ayatollah and Biden, boy. It was just sad, man. Trump would never bow to any of these people. Trump come in there like a man, right? I tell you, man. Texas Jane says, Black Guy laughing. Bradley says, Trump, this guy right here, he just keeps saying the same thing. Say it again, Bradley. Try, yeah. I would say, I dare you. I dare you to spam again. Spam one more time. Because I got you. Hey, y'all, if Bradley spam one more time, go ahead and kick him out of here. We're going to do the Santana Jones because spamming is not allowed in here. I dare you to do it. I doubly dare you to do it again, Bradley. Do it one more time. Okay, Cheryl says, remember when Joe Biden said, I remember that. Okay. I think I read the same thing. Okay. Oh my goodness. Cheryl says Camilla is a man too. Yeah. Is she? Act like it though, Act like it. Let me see. PG Lover says, OP, you won't debate people. OP. He said, OP, you won't debate people live because you are a coward, right? You won't date people live because you are a coward. Who is OP? Who is OP? Oh, who down with OPP? Let me see. OPP. It said OP is a coward. Mike says California is a sanctuary state full of sanctuary cities that all welcome the homeless and those here illegally. You right about that? Homeless and the illegals in healthcare. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Got to go and post that too. Got the Trump thing up there, the Trump horn. Okay, go ahead and do this. Okay. Let's see here. The lucky one says California doesn't control other companies' prices raising due to tariffs. Look at I always call it California. It's a communist thing, is what it is. Look at all those businesses that's leaving out of California by the droves. Even Walmart had to shut down 250 stores, Apple, who's the other one? Tesla. We talk about big names that left out of California, man. Just like they leave it out of Washington State. That's the worst state to be in. That's horrible. I'm glad I don't live in Washington State. Oh my goodness. Let me see here. Jason Beatrice said, fraud is a blue state feature. It sure is, boy. They can't help themselves. They never been good at budgeting nothing in the blue states. They all got love crime. They love Muslims and foreigners, boy, I tell you. Paul says California is a mess because of Newsom, right? That's what I call it. People are fleeing California because he doesn't know what he's doing. He's an idiot. You could tell that Gavin Newsom is an idiot. The nephew of, you already know, Nasty Pelosi. That's her nephew, man. Come on now. Oh my goodness. Jason Beatrice says tariffs are a fee on foreign imports. California sucks because the Democrat policies. The Democrats hate tariffs because these people are puppets of the parasitical elite class. The more tariffs that Trump implement, it hurts these people. It hurts the parasitical elite class. It's not for it, it hurts them. I got to go, guys, man. I'm way overdue, man, but I'm trying to read all these comments. But I appreciate you guys showing up, man, and my mods, too, man. We had a wonderful day today, man, getting with all these Obama lovers. And I'm going to tell you this, though. We're going to do in the next one. Why did you vote for Obama? That's what we're going to be doing. I want you to put up your policies, mano y mano. I can put up Trump policies. You better be prepared to put up Obama policies, right? Because over here, we believe in free speech to a point. Can't threaten people. Just like what Zach did. Get him up on out of here. Zach, you ever come in here and you ever put up an in-the-window threat, you will be banned for life, sir. And that's for anyone else. Respect the rules. It says so in the guidelines, right? There it is. So now that we got that out the way, so we're going to do that next time, right? We're going to put up or we're going to shut up, right? Put up those Obama policies, right? And we're going to go ahead and shout. We're going to go ahead and shoot them down, right? But I appreciate y'all, show the Democrat clown show, you know what I'm saying? I tell you, boy. But yeah, boy, it is good seeing a lot of my return people. Even Lou Hawk, boy. Lou Hawk art, boy. I tell you, I make people famous, man. Lou Hawk, and a few others, that's what's up, man. I appreciate all of the likes and stuff, too. We actually had a pretty, relaxing day. Well, I appreciate that, too. Appreciate it.
Please like, comment, and subscribe, please.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Coin drop here and there. I appreciate that. They get a little excited when I hear the coin drop. Coin drops, boy.
Beta!
Oh, I know, right? I ain't used that one today, did I? Boy, I tell you. Jesse Lee Peterson, boy, I tell you. Cheryl Schultz says, no job is worth risking my life. Yeah, I know that's right. You right about that. I wouldn't do it. I would not do it. But yeah, man, you guys have been great coming in here and things, man. We are rocking. All right, and I'm going to get on Larry's behind right now. Larry, man, here the things. All you could do is shout out name calling. You the bigger pussy, first and foremost, man. You ain't got no shirt on in that photo. Who you trying to attract, man? Have you looked at yourself, man? You know I'm better looking than you. You know what I'm saying, boy? And a lot smaller than you, too. Boy, I tell you. Oh, my goodness. Y'all see this dude, trying to come for me. He said to be dumbest 30%. You are dumb because you can't even recite any type of Obama policies, right? I use the Constitution as toilet paper. Yeah, this guy right here could be a bot. Could be a bot. That's why I don't take him serious, because ain't nobody that dumb and stupid. Oh, yeah, this is definitely a bot. Gotta be a bot. Right? Obama was a good president. We're going to, baby Bubba. Baby Bubba. What's up, baby Bubba? We're going to find out, though, next time when I do my next live stream, right? We're going to do this, man. We're going to do this. You better come prepared with your Obama policies, because the question is, if you voted for Obama, prove me wrong. I'm doing the same thing Santana Jones and them do. Prove me wrong, right? All I want to know is prove me wrong. If Obama was so great for America, you got to be prepared to tell me why, right? And I want to be, all I want to do is prove us wrong. That's all I want to do. Let's go ahead and reverse that. We're going to do that from now on in. They're going to always say, why you vote for Trump? Why you vote for Obama, right? Oh, man. Hey, guys, why don't y'all do this for me, too? Who's Black Guy 9? Go ahead and get Larry out of here. Because remember I told you before, you cannot insult the host, right? Go ahead and block him and get him on out of here and things. And Larry, this will probably be your last time hearing my, well, you better hear my voice. You just won't be able to speak. I want you guys to get Larry up on out of here, you know. Remember, you can't attack the host of the show. You know, I don't know anybody show that you can go in there and do that on. But see ya, Larry. Wouldn't want to be you know. Boy, looking real zesty too, boy. I tell you, man. Can't attack the host, man. I don't even attack the host when I'm even on, what's the names of them? Whichever one of y'all got him, man. It's a bounty. I don't even do that with Santana Jones in them, man. I don't call him all zesty. But he always said, you won't get on the mic, that makes you a coward. Oh, my goodness. Oh, man. Trump derangement syndrome. But be prepared, because when I come live tomorrow, it's going to be, why did you vote for Obama? And I want to know. Why did you vote for Obama? No name calling will be allowed, because if you crash out, you're out. That's going to be the rules. No spamming. No name calling, especially to the host. And also, too, you can't answer a question with a question, and you're not allowed to move the goalposts. The question is quite simple. Be prepared tomorrow when I ask, why did you vote for Obama? Prove me wrong, right? If you're an Obama voter, right, you better be prepared to stand on it. We're going to run the same format that these other people is doing. And we get people like Larry out of here for being disrespectful. Because Larry is in his feelings, whether he's about or not. But you should be able to stand on what it is that you have. But I'm out, ladies and gentlemen, and I'll see y'all tomorrow. Peace and chicken grease, boy. I tell you, man. Boy, let me go ahead and take this down. Here we got the Democratic Clown Show. Boy, we be over here cooking these fools, don't we? Oh, my goodness, man. We cook them, man. Oh, my gosh, man. Let's go ahead and do this. We got the American Anthem. The Star Spangled Banner. Boy, and yeah, that's a beautiful piece, man. Yep, the Star Spangled Banner, man. That's a beautiful thing. But I appreciate y'all for showing up and showing out. Yep, as we put these low-down, crying babies and stuff, and these low-down Democrats, they can't even give you one policy, man. Oh, it's okay. Demo rats, it's okay. Oh, yeah, it's okay. Oh, man. Ooh, man. We got Zach together. We got Larry together. So those are the rules. Don't forget it, or you will be banned and blocked. Mostly blocked. Very rarely I ban. But I appreciate you guys and my mods too, man. The sheriff and his deputies, we're going to roll out to the sunset. Boy, I tell you. I appreciate y'all, man. Where my flag at? It's okay. It's okay, Larry. Ashy Larry, it's okay. Put some lotion on, Larry. Okay. Oh, my goodness. Boy, you better put some lotion on, Larry. Ashy Larry, boy. All right, guys. We about to hit off the Star Spangled Banner. And for you people on the left, you better get your behind up and stand for this flag of the United States. So we're going to come out there and deport every last one of you. I wish I had the power to do that. It just wouldn't be, it would be unconstitutional. I'm just joking. All right, guys. I will see y'all, what? Oh, man. Tomorrow. Boy. And I'm out. Appreciate you. Love you all, man. My mods, too. And my return people, my return guests. All right, let's go ahead and get that Star Spangled Banner, man, going on. That's sung by Ashley LaRue. Boy, beautiful voice. Go ahead, Ashley. Take it away.
Oh, Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes